This is already filmed up. Thank you, Russ. Well, Captain Newbie says, wow, not the first. Russ says, me neither. Superior Records says, hey yo, this is Dash. It's Aye. Hey yo. I am sitting at my wife's basically where she works. So I am going to try and let's see. Hey yo. All right, there we go. Muted that. So now I got the TV right in front of me with the TV with my phone right here next to me. So I'm just trying to make sure that the stream still looks good. Superior Records. Hey yo, what up, B from Patriot Barbecue? How you doing this evening? Sultan Barbecue says, howdy y'all. How's everybody doing this evening? What up, Jimmy? Jimmy said, well, he was talking to Brian, and he said, B, what up? All right, so I know those of you who have been around for a while, well, glad to hear that, B, glad to hear that. Those of you who have been around here for a while, you guys know on Wednesdays what we do. We get down, we have conversation, and we're going to have some frank conversation, about barbecue. And what up, Jimmy? The conversations tend to be a little bit better when there is, oh, yeah. I know Alton has a jug. I have a jug too. So, I'm going to pour a glug or two. What up, Kent? How you doing this evening? Mr. Peabody, how you doing? It is water. It is fire water. What's going on, man? Nick, how you doing? We're gonna Oh darn. Oh goodness. This is gonna be I gotta pour some of this off. I'm not even not even kidding. I poured way too much in here tonight. What up? Glad to hear that. Yeah, well, Kent, I saw, who did I see? Oh, James from Aim and Claim 'Em. He was talking about going to the American Royal. So, good luck. I gotta pour some of this off because this is way too much. All right. I will be slumped over, like sleep. Beyond sleep, and then I'm adding a little bit of Rockstar, a little bit of energy drink to it. I found that that's a moderately decent combination. Energy drink with the clear. It goes a fairly long way. They cancel each other out. So now I have a whole backup cup of clear. I'm already dropping and spilling stuff, and I ain't even take a sip yet. I'm cutting myself off. This is y'all see that? Oops. I got the replay. All right, Terry, how you doing this evening? Mike, how you doing this evening? Back that way Friday night. All right, Nick. Looking forward to it. Oh yeah, buddy. Meeting up? No, can't. I will not be in Kansas City. Joe Mello, he says, "How's it going, brother?" It goes. It's a long night, huh? Yeah, I am real good. Marcus, that's some hobby-ish. New truck, dude. I have been. Those of you guys who have been following along and know what's been going on. My personal Facebook was hacked. July 7th or July 8th. And I've been unable to get on Facebook. And my buddy there, my friend, good friend, Boosted Plinko, is a friend of mine named Nick. Nick has, we communicate usually through Messenger. I have been unable to get into and onto Facebook Messenger because my account was hacked. Actually, Nick, I'll tell you, I got a response from someone at Facebook yesterday. I had to create a whole new email account that had never been associated with any of my Instagram accounts or any of my Facebook accounts. And hopefully they'll get back to me. I've been watching this new email address or email account like a hawk, trying to get back or get word back from someone at Facebook that they will give me back my damn account. I had to send them IDs, pictures of my ID again, phone number again, and it's been a time. I did hear, Nick, that Brendan got his car, so that's pretty cool. All right, Joe, glad to hear you're doing well. How much vodka is in that cup? No much vodka. This is, you know better than that. No much vodka. We got a special guest tonight. Yeah, Mike. So I tell you what, it's one of those things where my Facebook, I keep it personal. So if I know you in person, or if I have met you in life, that is one of the things I will. But I'm not very, I'm not very active on Facebook. Hence, my hiatus from Facebook for over 2 months is not hurting me. The only thing is I don't have as much communication with my friends who we communicate through Facebook Messenger. This should be the catalyst for me to get my friends to use another messaging system and service, but no. Danny, I got your envelope. Thank you, sir, so very much. Tomorrow's video is inspired by you, sir. I think it's overnight parts from Yeah, Nick, I heard that he let me just say I heard. I don't know if Kev told you I bumped into him yesterday. But yeah, I heard. Yeah. Oh yeah, Marcus. Oh yeah. Grumpus, how you doing? Hold on. Wait. So Marcus is here from Crimson Creek. We definitely gotta shout out Marcus. And then Grumpus is here. So we gotta shout out Grumpus. I don't have bees. Well, I have bees. It's got a whole separate cup. I do the same with our Facebook. Yep. I use it for a marketplace. Yeah. I don't, I haven't really bought anything or sold anything on Marketplace. I still turn to Craigslist for a majority of the stuff. What up, Steven? How you doing this evening? Did y'all peep that? I missed the straw. I did. I was like, I'm gonna order some of your shirts when I get a chance. Joe. Well, there is a link down in the description of all of the recent videos. It is it's a Teespring link. I'll be honest with you, I like the hoodie more than I like the t-shirts. And actually, hey Marcus, I need to reach out to Jamie and find out and talk about how I order some more of these, because there's been a few people that have been asking about the, as y'all call them, the bowling shirt. So I guess I'll put it on. I was a little warm. I cooked earlier and I was trying not to get my shirt dirty. So, but there's some things but we can talk about that. Speaking of, is Jamie here? Jamie, taps glass. Oh, all right, that's what's up, Nick. Danny, I won't say I had plans, but I got something. I got an idea. Blind man cooking. I'm waving my hand. He says, "Hey y'all, how's everyone doing tonight?" Oh, there she is. Hey Jamie. I don't know. You might have said hey before. Before I said hey. Reporting in from my usual spot. Well, I know that spot. I can picture it. If I'm standing at the island, I'm looking, hey Jamie, and then all right, turn around, Marcus. I can say hi to you too. Yep. All right. Hey, it was funny. So it's funny you say your usual spot, because you were on the long couch and I sat in the chair, and Marcus was in front of both of us. So yeah, I guess I'll be checking in from my usual spot too. Let's see. Mike Stewart says it ain't hard to keep nothing clean, just clean as you go. Facebook Marketplace is the bomb. All right. Um, Russ says that's the shirt I'm waiting for. Right, I bought one of those shirts last year and I wear it a lot. All right, well, thank you so very much, Joe. I appreciate that. That messenger conversation is going. Yeah. So Nick has what he's talking about, and the reason why I am upset that I don't get to communicate with my friends. These are my car guys. That messenger conversation has been going on since 2011. Yes, it really has. No problem, Jamie. I've been holding out, kind of not wanting to do it because I didn't want to have to deal with orders and stuff like that. But there's been too many people asking about it, so I need to do that. Danny says, congratulations on 26,000. Thank you so very much. Really do appreciate it. Mark said he's having some Maker's Mark. Well, I see what you did there. I mean, yeah. Grumble says that's right, 26,000. Nice. Blind man says he's waving back. I don't see you waving. I don't see you waving. Luke Calamadas, he says, hey yo, what's going on, Dash and Barbecue family? Yes indeed, we are the Steel Drum Smokers Barbecue family. For sure you guys are. Alright. Grumpus, can't wait for February. Yep. Clean as you go. Definitely works for me, Lou says. Alright, so tonight, we are talking about how to keep clean. And I want to take a moment and say thank you to Jimmy. Oh, come on, who is texting me? Alright. Jamie, alright, I will talk to you in the morning about that. I actually have one, Jamie. I just have to kind of... and it's even got commerce stuff set up on it, so I don't talk about it very much. Alright, that's just... Steven, congratulations, 26. Hey, you deserve it. And it should be 100,000 because of your content you put out. Thank you very much. Alright, so Jeremy says, what's up? This is my first time. What's the show about? So tonight we're going to be talking about how to basically keep clean and keep, clean is the easiest thing or way to say it, while cooking or catering. Mike says soap and water, and it's water, okay? Water. All right. So now, if you have not already, hit that thumbs up button for me, please, and thank you. Before we get into the discussion, we've already done the introductions and the highs and hellos. So what up, everybody? So glad you can make it. Really thankful that you are here with me, and you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here right now, and I appreciate that. So if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. Again, I appreciate it. All right, so let's talk about keeping things clean. So you guys have seen me in the videos, and when I am cooking, you see me changing gloves like religiously. I change gloves when I am dealing or like when I'm cooking, when I'm seasoning meat, and you guys don't see me season meat just because, I saw a video today. The dude was like, oh, you want to know what I put in my seasoning? He was like, oh, yo, it's a lot of nunya and some damn and like a pinch of business. And I chuckled so hard. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. So that's just as bad as me. Somebody said, well, what do you do? How do you do it? I was like, it's a little bit of F and a little bit of U, and boom. That's how it works out. Ice, what's going on? How you doing? He said, what up, big homie? God bless and much respect. Well, thank you, sir. I'm right back at you. So, my thing is this. First and foremost, the easiest way for me to keep clean is to use gloves. Anytime I touch anything raw, any raw meat, I try to use gloves. People say, stop using all those gloves. Use tongs. Well, you use tongs and then you touch something raw and then you leave it where it is and then you touch something cooked with the thing that was raw and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. So I'm gonna just use the gloves. The glove, oh my God. I wish I could say that the gloves are inexpensive because they're not. I used to get my gloves, well I still do. I used to get more gloves from Harbor Freight. I used to get them on sale for $5 a box, which is 100 gloves in a box, makes them 5 cents each. Harbor Freight recently, now that they have gloves back in stock, the regular 5 mil nitro gloves are $15 to $18 per box. Talk about price gouging. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. B agrees with me. He says gloves are so much easier. Lou says a little bit of F and a little bit of U, and boom! I'm definitely using that one. Lou, you didn't hear me say that one before? Mike said he just tells people it's a top secret. No, you gotta, you gotta throw a little bit of flair in it. Just saying it's top secret, nah, that's so, so passe. All right, so Mark says use gloves and use Kirkland Signature moist flushable wipes. Sounds strange, but it helps keep the hands clean between glove changes. Okay, so Mark, one of the things that I almost say I despise, but if I have gloves on for too long, my hands get sweaty, and I don't have small hands. So when the gloves that I use from Harbor Freight, I usually get the extra large size gloves, and that's one of the other reasons. One of the things, what drew me to the gloves from Harbor Freight, they come in different sizes, and because I could get them in different sizes, I didn't have to worry about like trying to put on a glove and popping a glove, trying to put it on my hand. So yeah, that was the main draw for getting gloves from Harbor Freight. Then of course they didn't have any gloves for like a year at Harbor Freight, and I went through my supply. Usually I would go to Harbor Freight whenever I would see that the gloves are on sale. $5 a box, I would go in and get the maximum number of boxes. So I would get like 5 to 8 boxes of gloves, and I usually kept 2 boxes of gloves outside in my garage to have a spare box, a usage box, and a spare box. Then I kept a box of gloves at the end of my island in my kitchen, and then I kept all the others in we call it the overflow, but it's basically I have some shelves, and I keep some of my catering things on that shelf or on the shelves. And the gloves were a mainstay. I, in the last year, went through every bit of gloves, and I have been buying gloves 1 or 2 boxes at a time, especially because, again, they are like $15 to $18 per box. Quentin says, yo! Booster Plinko says gloves are nice, but I made a 25-gallon broom. I made a 25-gallon broom of water, just screwed the tap on the side of it, and used that with 3 buckets, 1 water, 1 soap, and the other sanitizer. Yep. So, yeah, the only thing with that is it depends on where you are. And I guess you were saying a 25-gallon, like a sink, or I'm trying to think what you're trying to say there. Autocorrect probably messed it up. But the problem is when you have a 3 bucket, like a 3 bucket type thing, or like if you're out and about, I think health code related wise, you have to have something to catch that, or you can't necessarily, like there's health regulations depending on where you are when you're out and about. So B said it's hard to find the XLs here, even at Restaurant Depot. I buy as many boxes as I can when I see them. Yep, a 25-gallon drum of water. He just screwed a tap in the side of it. Use it with 3 buckets, 1 water, 1 soap, and 1 other sanitizer. Okay. Eric says I built a 5-gallon bucket with a battery-powered pump and a hose sprayer for my portable sink. Oh yes, gloves are a must. Now these masks in Texas heat? Hell no. What are you guys using? Yeah. So thankfully, when doing events, the last on-site event I did not wear a mask. I am vaccinated, so I did not wear a mask. But I was also outside, and I kind of stayed away from everybody. Let's see. Jimmy said I have a bucket of bleach and water nearby that I have for my prep area and hands. Yep. My wife isn't doing nursing anymore, so I have to buy mine now. Terry, dude, Let me just tell you, at one point during quarantine, I had a subscriber that sent me a couple boxes of gloves, and when I say it was a godsend, I was like, yo, man, I need this hookup. Like, for real, I will pay you for shipping and pay you for the gloves, because I couldn't find them anywhere. Quentin says I order my gloves from Amazon. Quentin, I would love to tell you that's a good thing, but ordering gloves from Amazon can be like 25 to 50% more expensive. Though convenient, it's just more expensive. Sean said pandemic messed up prices on gloves, and I haven't seen charcoal go on sale yet. Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like, we kind of rely on, I know I rely on when charcoal goes on sale for like $5 a bag, because I'm like, or $10 a bag, because I'm like, whoop, let me go ahead and get enough charcoal for the entire year. Captain Newbie said, check out Discount Safety Gear. They have 100 packs for $12 or $13. So that was Discount Safety Gear. All right, I'm gonna write that one down. See, I got smart today. I actually have a notepad because I don't have my laptop in front of me. I'm just being lazy. It's behind me. But let's see. Discount Safety Gear. All right. Any other websites you guys have to help everybody out? B said I use the 3-bit method, fully allowed by the health department if you are running a stand. Lulu Mumford says, good morning from the UK. Well, Lulu, good morning to you too. It is early morning there. What is it, 9, so 6, so you're looking at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Andrew Wozniak says, hey Dash, sorry for running late. What do you apologize? You're here. Look, I'm just, hey. All right, Jake says, what charcoal do you use? I tell you, I really use whatever charcoal's on sale. Whatever charcoal I can find is typically what I'm using. Now, most people or some people have a problem when I say that, and it's like, you don't have a consistent charcoal, or you don't know what you're. Are you serious? The whole thing is, that is always my go-to answer, that I buy whatever charcoal's on sale, but typically I buy so much charcoal that I only have one type of charcoal laying around my house. That's Kingsford Blue Bag. It is not the best, but it is very consistent. Now, I do buy other bags of charcoal here and there and in between, just when I'm like, all right, I want to get some lump, or I need some lump charcoal. But for the most part, Kingsford briquettes are probably what I cook with 80% of the time. So that answers your question, hopefully. What up, Kevin? We're talking about you, me and or Nick and I were a couple moments ago. What's going on, sir? Kevin is another friend of mine who has recently gotten into barbecue. He has himself a pellet cooker, and actually he just got another one. And I've been unable to talk to him about it, but I've helped him out, and he seems to be coming along very nice with his cooking. Eric says King Blue is not what it was back in the old 1910s. Like there's more of a hardwood taste to the briquettes. It's what's going on. It's probably, I don't know. I really don't know, but I do know that there is not a pronounced wood flavor any longer from charcoal briquettes, from Kingsford briquettes. So that's why usually when or if I am using briquettes, I will add wood. I have wood from, yeah. You have to supplement the smoke, definitely. Jake says 2:21 a.m. in the UK. Whoa, Jake, are you in the UK as well? And where in the UK are you? I was I was in York County. Golly, I was gonna say it's been 2.5 years now. Gosh. Captain Newbie says, do you wear gloves when you wash your charcoal? No, but you know what? When gloves were more plentiful, I used to put gloves on to get my grill set up, just because I didn't I absolutely hate getting charcoal under my fingernails. I just dirty fingernails. To me, ooh, that saying, cleanliness is second or next to godliness. That's how I feel. Like, my fingernails, though they are, my fingers are trimmed real short right now, I despise seeing people with dirty fingernails. That's just it's unsanitary for me. Terry says buy Royal Oak lump. It's the cheapest around here. Oh, he says he buys Royal Oak lump charcoal. It's the cheapest around here. I wasn't talking trash, man. I was saying I saw you. That was it. So Terry, I can get Kingsford Blue bags for cheaper than I can get royal oak, so I do. But what's crazy, I'm gonna show you guys. In tomorrow's video, I went to Home Depot, I went to Lowe's, and I went to a hardware store, a Ace Hardware store, and in that hardware store, you'll see how much charcoal. I don't know where you guys are, but charcoal is not cheap for me. Where I live in Baltimore, in the Baltimore area, charcoal is expensive. And I find, or I try to buy what I can get on sale. And usually what I can get on sale is the Kingsford Blue Bag. So back to, I think, I'm trying to think who asked that question. Was it Jake? I think it was Jake's question. B said, I just use lump to catch the splits, then it's all wood. I've been really happy with the Restaurant Depot lump, $15 for a 25-pound bag. Yeah, see, I can do better than that, because I can get 40 pounds of Kingsford for $20. I think it works out to be a little bit better. Mark says, do you use a specific type of gloves, like versus glino? Let's read one word at a time. Dash, do you use a specific type of gloves? Is vinyl gloves what I use? No, I use nitrile gloves. So nitrile gloves to me are a little more forgiving in that they stretch a little bit more. They don't pop or tear as regularly. And I also use a slightly or a medium duty nitrile glove. Those gloves that I get are 5 mils thick. So that 5 mil, yeah, I guess that 5 mil thickness is enough for them to be like a medium duty glove. A lot of times I found that the vinyl gloves, one, are too damn small for my hands. I don't have small hands. And two, they just don't last. Like, I can't, yeah. All right. Jake says his wife's family lives in Liverpool. He is from Virginia. All right. Mark said, I hate dirty nails. Yeah. Look, Sean says, I hate getting my fingernails dirty. Listen, y'all go ahead on and try to shame me all you want. I'm secure enough in my manhood, like, for real. I have so many gloves in my cargo van. I probably have no less than, I won't say half a dozen. There's probably 4 pair of gloves in my cargo van right now. 1 or 2 in the back, and there's 3 across the dash. And I keep gloves everywhere. I hate getting my hand, like, I use my hands too much in order for, like, I hate cutting my hands. I hate, I will put some gloves on. Andrew said, as long as it's lump on sale, I agree. I'm hooked on lump for smoking, but grilling, I do the other. I can't spell briquettes. He said the other I can't spell today. Eric says it's not cheap here in Texas. That my last on sale batch was most likely out in the rain due to shipping issues. I always wanted to make my own lump charcoal. You know what's crazy? I had somebody, I won't say hit me up, but I had somebody after I did that, like, picking up 800 pounds of charcoal, and Kevin, thank you so very much for that. That was my buddy Kevin. I told you that it was on sale, and then he hooked me up with like a military discount. He bought it for me, so I got it extra dirt cheap. But after that video, somebody said you need to make your own charcoal, and I'm like, I can't. Like, I don't. It's not like I have an endless supply of wood where I can make my own charcoal. It's not like I live in the woods and I can just go cut down trees and have an endless supply of wood. No, like, I have to buy the wood, and then I would have to make the charcoal. So not only am I like putting in effort to get the wood, then, well, now I'm a little more self-sufficient. I can split the wood myself, which is good. I bought myself a log splitter earlier this year. But like, there's so much more involved if I don't have, like, some folks that, I live on a farm with X number of 1,000 acres, and they have all these resources and time. I don't have that. All right, B said he was wrong. It's 40 pounds. He said he just had to look. Well, see, now that I would not be mad at. A 40-pound bag for $15, I could get with that. Let's see. Austin said I get a 40 pounds of lump charcoal. The sale at Costco for $14. All right. See, now that I can get with. As long as I can get charcoal, and I would need to get charcoal like 10. So I would need to spend less than $10 per 20 pounds. That's usually the average of what I think of. And if I can get it, then cheaper than that, cool. If I can't, then I'll just kind of stick to what I am. Paul, hey yo, excuse me, how you doing this evening? B said I can't stand that lump, that cowboy lump. The cowboy lump is not too bad. Terry says, vinyl gloves will melt easy. Ask me how I know. Terry, how do you know that vinyl gloves melt easily? Booster Plinko says, I don't need to get dirty cooking barbecue. I got a guy for that. He's absolutely correct. I know that guy. Mike said, I've been thinking about making a UDS. Are they easy to make? It kind of depends on your skill set. Easy is relative. It's one of those things where you can do a lot of research and figure out if you have the tools and the time to get it done. And then it's just a matter of having the patience. Like, I have been toying with making or getting a propane tank and trying to make a smoker out of a propane tank. So Eric says he's sitting here in the emergency room with a blood clot in my lung watching a barbecue show. Eric, dude, first and foremost, thank you for watching, but dude, take care of yourself. Like, I appreciate you watching, and I guess you standing tall for the Erics, but dude, like, make sure you are first. Obviously you come first. Wow, thank you so very much. Paul says they're hot, like super hot. Ask him how I know. Mark said, LOL, make your own charcoal. I live in a city of 7 million people. Right? Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be able to make a fire and not draw the fire department. Have y'all seen the video of the fire department coming to my house? It does happen. Like, when they drive by, I make sure I wave to them, and because they know me, they know me very well. Yes, definitely. Russ said, get well, Eric. Mr. Hockett. All right, that's the last time I'll call you Mr. Hockett for the night. Jack, how you doing this evening? He says, hey, yo, what's up, Dash? Mo butter, baby. Eric says, yo, Flowers. Feel you, dude. Get better, brother. Yes, indeed. Austin says, Restaurant Depot has 40-pound lump charcoal for $15 here in Arizona. Well, is you just rubbing it in or what? Ooh. Terry said, I've had to melt to my fingers just pulling out a grate. Oh, my gosh. All right, Nick. He said, nice seeing you. I got to get back to my movie. Maybe see you Friday. Well, hopefully. Jimmy says, bring Vanna in the trailer to South Carolina. We'll load you up with all the wood you can haul. Pfft. Look, do not threaten me with a good time. I did actually get a load of wood. I told you earlier this summer. I got a load of wood. I had some trees. My driveway is city property, and there were some trees that were listing and trees that were overgrown, and it took them a year and a half to come out and cut these or trim these trees back. But when the guy that came out and cut the trees, the guy who was the lead of the team, he's like, oh, because I had some wood down by my garages, and I told him, I'm like, hey, don't touch this over here. That's mine. Like, don't collect it. Don't pick it up. He's like, what do you have that for? And I said, I do barbecue. He says, you need wood? Yeah. So he brought me a trailer load, like a dump trailer load of wood. And I still have not split it all. That was earlier this summer when it was getting too hot. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to wait. I'm going to let that wood sit out there all summer long. And then I'm going to split it up before the end of the summer. And I might, maybe I'll start selling some of it just to, make a couple dollars. Googly Moogly, what's going on? Dash, he said we built a smoker from a 250 gallon tank. If you need advice or help, just ask. I sure will. So, Googly Moogly is local to me. And I know I have a line on a 500 gallon propane tank. It's just a matter of getting it. The tank is probably like 2.5, 3 hours away from me, so it's just a matter of humping to go get it. Mr. Hockett Jack says, my favorite lump is Lazari Mesquite from 20 pounds for $13. It's the best I can find around here. All right. Russ said, yeah, but the fire department is just looking to cop a brisket. Sure enough. Man, now you got a challenge. You got to do a video on some DIY city code. Hell no, man. Y'all done got me messed up. Chef Arel, what's going on? He said, I got some crazy news. Might be opening a smokehouse in Ghana. In like Accra. You better brush up on your tree, good brother. KB Barbecue, how you doing this evening? It says, hey everybody, what's up, Dash? I'm chilling. Look, as I used to say as a kid, chilling like a villain, cooling like a fan. You know what I mean? I'm saying, I mean. Yeah, buddy. Alright, so how else do you guys keep clean while cooking? For me, the number one thing is gloves. Gloves. I cannot, like, there have been cooks where I can go through 24 gloves. A big enough cook, a long enough cook, I feel like I can go through a whole box of gloves sometimes, but I just use something, do something. Like when I'm cooking for Thanksgiving, I go through a lot of gloves because I go into the smoker, like especially if I have a lot of turkeys to do. I go in the smoker, like I put all the turkeys in at one time with like one pair of gloves on. But as turkeys come off, boom, I'm taking one turkey off, one set of gloves. Take those gloves off. Taking another one turkey off. So if I have 16 turkeys, that's at least 16 pairs of gloves that I can go through. Sean says I go through an obscene amount of paper towels along with gloves. It's almost criminal. I don't go through as many paper towels because I won't say I don't wipe things down. I use a lot more aluminum foil. So I use a lot of aluminum foil, so I guess we can add that to the top list of consumables. As opposed to having to wipe down surfaces, I'll just put down a surface. You guys have seen me when I used Bessie, when I cooked with Bessie, I would put aluminum foil on that tray, on that shelf on Bessie. Yeah, so I would put aluminum foil down, and the mess would get on that foil, and I would just wrap up the foil and put down more foil. So add that to the list of things. Now, one of the things I told you guys before, or I've said it in a video where I'm trying to think, I was seasoning something and I had to touch something with a raw food, like with a gloved hand. And what I did was, as opposed to me taking off the glove or touching like a seasoning or a spray bottle with a gloved hand, and I think it was the olive oil aerosolizer. Like I try to do things that I can do one-handed or single-handed. So you guys saw me buy the battery-operated salt and pepper mills, so that I can do it with one hand. You know, you use a regular pepper grill or a grinder, pepper mill or pepper grinder. You got to use two hands on there. Well, one of my hands is going to be dirty from touching raw meat. I need to be able to do it one-handed, so that's why I bought that automatic or that battery-operated pepper mill. Anyway, if I have to touch something with a gloved hand, because I'm like, I don't want to change this, I will grab a paper towel, use the raw gloved hand with the paper towel to help. I have the hiccups. I'm sorry. To help me not touch something with the raw gloved hand, and then I can keep doing whatever it is I'm doing. So, you know, paper towels, I use those too, just not nearly as much as most people. Quentin says, you already know how I feel about touching raw meat with your bare hands. Yeah. KB said, I wear my oldest t-shirt. Yeah, well, my oldest t-shirt don't fit anymore. So, Mark says, Dash, I feel you. I go through so many gloves, I just can't take my hands being dirty hands and grease and stuff on everything. He says, none, stop cleaning. Yep. Look, Chef said, foil is a godsend. Dude, I'm bummed. It's like, you know, how people talk about the gas prices. That's how I talk about foil prices. A box of foil now is like $23. Dude, I remember when it was under 20, and I'm like, it hasn't been that long, but damn, everything is going up. Russ said, yeah, my Restaurant Depot large foil's almost gone. Turns out Mrs. Newbie is a foil freak. Look, you know what? So it's funny. I have finally gotten my wife and kids to start using the foil. Like, I used to buy a regular size, you know, regular duty, I don't know what to call it, foil, like Reynolds wrap. And I stopped buying it. Like, I used to buy that and the heavy duty restaurant foil. But that restaurant foil sits on the end of my island. I have an island in my kitchen. That is its permanent home. It stays out. That is the one thing that my wife does not put away. She does not put away my foil. She does not put away my scale. And my gloves sit on top of the scale. And my thermometer sits right in between the scale, the gloves, and the foil. Those are the four things that I have that she will not put away, because I'm like, You don't understand. When I am cooking, I can't go into a cabinet. I can't go into a closet. I can't go. That's just like you mess up the flow if it's not out. It has to be out. It's like mise en place, okay? But this because she, she just doesn't get it all the time. Sometimes. Anyway, I'll let me step off my soapbox. Quentin says I keep my sink clean when I'm cooking on the grill because I'm constantly trying to wash the dish and my hands, especially if the dish has been marinated for a few days. All right, marinating. All right, Strychnine. Thank you, Alton, for telling me how to pronounce and say your name properly. He says 37 watching, 31 likes. Remember, barbecue peeps, like the vid. Thank you very much for the reminder. If you have not already, please hit that thumbs up button. I'd greatly appreciate it. B says I use a lot of saran wrap as well. We're going to call it cling wrap, okay? Especially when packing meats to keep the gloves and the packages clean. Yep. Kevin says shout out to my #1 stalker. Hey, it is what it is. Cheers to not messing up the flow. Fireball shot. Yeah, well, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. And what's crazy? I'm caught up on the comments. So either y'all aren't talking enough or I'm doing a pretty darn good job. You know what it is? I don't think I've told a really long story tonight. So somebody make me tell a story and then I'll be screwed to hell with the comments. Sean says I'm not coordinated enough to use cling wrap. I waste more than I use. Talk about a true story. I'll be damned. It's like you need training in order to use cling wrap effectively or efficiently or however, whatever word you want to add to that. Quentin says it's hard to do dishes when you got a belly full of barbecue and a few drinks in you. Yeah, Quentin. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't attempt to try to do dishes while I'm cooking. The only dishes I will do, I have busboy pans. I use busboy pans to take the food from my kitchen where it's seasoned out to the smokers. But I will wash those in the middle of the cook, but that is about it. Any other dishes I use or make or anything like that, they stay in the sink. KB said I clean everything before cooking and clean things as I get them dirty. Again, I wish I was that disciplined. I focus more on keeping my hands clean and the utensils clean. I will, like, if I'm grilling, like for the family hot and fast, I will wash a set of tongs in between, but more often than not, it's like I'm either in the house or I'm in the garage, so I can't necessarily wash things. Strychnine is a person on a barbecue show about cleaning. Yeah, strychnine is a poison on a barbecue show about cleaning. Yeah, we're not gonna go there. Jeremy says, have you ever made pork belly? And if so, did you like it? So technically I make pork belly rather often. I just don't make pork belly in the traditional-esque sense of pork belly. When I went to Texas in February of 2019, when I went to Texas in February of 2020, I was turned on to porchetta. And my wife was turned on to porchetta from Alton. Alton, cooked it, made it for us while I was there. And I make porchetta quite regularly now. So porchetta is made from a uncured pork belly. And I make that like once a quarter. Google Mooley said they have pans for all different types of smokers, from drums, offsets, and reverse flow. They have yes, I know. Trying to think. Smokerbuilder.com. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Is it Mike or Chris or something? But I've been following that dude for years. All right, see, this is why I took my shirt off, because I'm hot. All right. It's hot in here. Well, yeah. I know what it is. Anyway. Drink. Just cause. Strychnine says, here's one to ponder. When you're building an offset, do you weld the firebox to the food chamber and then cut the opening between the two, or do you cut open both and weld together? Pros versus cons. of each. All right, so strychnine, I've seen it both ways, actually. I've seen people cut the notch in the tank in the cook chamber, and then mate the firebox to that, and then cut out exactly what you need, because sometimes you might overcut or undercut. I've seen people cut notches and holes in both. It's almost like personal preference, and what your tools, to me, your tools might dictate how you get it done. I think if you have like a fantastic or like a really nice plasma cutter, you probably could cut out the like smiley face on the cook chamber, and then butt the firebox into or up to that cook chamber, and then cut out the cook chamber, or cut out a hole in the firebox. But it's just one of those things where I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Is it the chicken or is it the egg? Which came first? I don't know. Smoker Builder, he says their pit calculator is best, so much better than Felton's. All right. G Jones says, hey brother, will you cook a whole hog in the future? I would love a video of you doing your thing from Virginia. So, Mr. Jones, Dr. Jones. I'm sure you never heard that one before. Here's the thing, and this is why I have never cooked a whole hog. Whole hog is, one, whole expensive. Two, what am I going to do with a whole hog? Like, after I cook a whole hog, it's just my family of 5, and one of the 5 don't eat pork. I'm just let that sink in. I cook a whole hog, and only 80% of the folks in my house are going to eat it, and then 20% of the folks in my house are a 9-year-old. Now my 15-year-old and my 14-year-old will probably eat as much as my wife. So, yeah. But I have contemplated doing a suckling pig just because. But then it's like, because it's that much smaller. But then at the same time, it's like, I talk to my wife and I'm like, hey, I got a lot of people say, hey, can you do a pig? Can you do a pig? And I'm like, all right, well, I'm contemplating getting a suckling pig. And I look at the cost and I'm like, damn, they expensive, right? And I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'll just do one kind of on a whim one day at some point. And then she's like, no, but it's a baby pig. You can't cook a baby pig. I'm like, which way is it? Because I can't afford a big pig. And if I buy a small pig that I can afford, then you're like, no, it's a baby pig. So, yeah. I had somebody hit me up earlier this summer and asked me to do they wanted to do a luau, right? I'm like, okay, sure. I can get some prices for pigs for you and, kind of let you know, get back to you. When they found out how much the pigs cost, I was like, or by the time they found out what I was going to have to charge them to do a pig, they were like, oh, wow. Wow, we didn't realize it was going to be that much. And with prices of pork, I had to stop and say this, properly. With the prices of pork rising, like, water in the flood, yo, I don't know how folks are making, any money at all. Russ said, as soon as it gets cold enough to store outside, I'm going to cure 2 full pork bellies, and everyone will get bacon for Christmas. Nice. Yo, Frank, there you go. Thank you. I knew his name, but I don't know why it escaped me. Thank you, Google Moogly. Blind Man says, how do you cook in the garage? Wouldn't you smoke yourself out? So yes and no. Yes, there is a lot of smoke that comes into the garage, but just like anything, I have a chimney that vents the smoke outside of the garage. So I have my garage is not 100% like insulated, and it's another thing too. It's not attached to my house. My garage is 100 feet, 200 feet down my driveway. So detached, and where I cook is the furthest garage is from my house. Just to explain how my setup is, because you've never seen it, having the advantage of being blind. So I have a 5-bay garage. Okay, so just think 1 through 5. All right. Garage number 1, 2, and 3 are a single car deep, or just shallow of a single car deep, and they're about probably 12 to 15 feet deep. Bays number 4 and number 5 are 2.5 cars deep, and they are, I believe it was about 50 feet, or it's about 50 feet. So number 4 and number 5, the footprint on number 4 and number 5 is like 45 or 50 feet by like 20 or 25 feet. I haven't measured it out in a very long time, but I think it was like 20 by 50 feet. So my garage is a big L, and actually the garage has a bigger footprint, or a bigger footprint as far as depth, than my house does. So the bigger garage bays, number 4 and number 5, are where I cook, and I have the smokers. I put them right up against a, it's like, I won't say it's open window, but it's a makeshift window. It's an opening, and there's ceramic, it's not brick, but ceramic blocks that go up about 7 feet, and I have an exhaust pipe that goes from my smokers out of the window. So a lot of the smoke goes out of the window, but there is still some residual smoke that collects in the garage. And the eaves, or the rafters on my garage are not completely closed. They're not 100% sealed off. So a lot of that smoke kind of billows out and under. So it does not stay in there. It does not get trapped. It does get trapped slightly in the peak of the garage. But when the smoke does get trapped in the peak of the garage, that's when I am inside seasoning everything. So when the smoke is at its thickest, its whitest, it's I won't say darkest, but at its worst, I try to get out and stay out of the garage. One of the other things too, when I'm in the garage cooking, I hang out near the car door. I won't say man door, the car door, and get the fresh air. So I'm not in there when it's at its worst. So just kind of, hopefully that gives you a in-depth explanation. If you have any more questions, definitely ask them. B said, I cut the throat of my firebox before welding it. It's easier than trying to cut it out when it's welded up. All right. Kevin says, Dubs at the Gap Sunday. I know. Guess where I'll be Sunday? I'll be playing with Pew Pews. Yeah. We'll have a whole hog at Dash Fest. Yeah. Dash Bash is what it was called. We can thank Kirk for that. Sarah says, "Man, I'm late." Well, don't do that. You are here right on time. Hey, if you have not already hit that thumbs up button for me, I'd appreciate it if you could. So again, before the first hour finishes, what else do you do to keep things clean? Let's see. Ribs turned out great last weekend. Husband said best so far. Nice. Well, congratulations. There's nothing better than, when people are like, "Oh man, that was so good." Yep. I'll have to watch what I missed in the morning. Well, thank you very much. You're a little condescending. Okay. There was a oh my god, there was like a shirt or a saying about that, and it was something about people say I'm condescending, and it was like a condescending remark, and I wish I could remember what it was. I don't mean to come off condescending, but sometimes I do, and it's not intentional. I've been at this for a long time, so sometimes when people, I don't know. And you know what, Jimmy, you didn't have to delete his message. I mean, if he felt that I was condescending, I mean, more power to him. Guess what? It's just one of those things, man. I can't please everybody. Kevin said, I'll be there for a whole hog. Shoot, you better help me cook, damn it. Or you can put in with it. How about that? Russ said, oh man, I just signed up for a complete tear off and a new roof and a solar with Tesla battery wall. Well, damn. Deshaun says, hey yo, made it in. Yes indeed. Mario says, what's up, Dash? Your videos are entertaining. Well, thank you. I actually aim to make them educational and they end up being entertaining. So I don't know if and or what. Yeah. Let's see. B said I use 500,000 BTU torch to clean my pits. All right. So that is one of the things too. I won't say I haven't touched upon, but I haven't talked about in quite a while. I try to, like, once a year get the cookers good and hot, and steam clean them, like thoroughly steam clean them out with a pressure washer. There are times where in between, and I won't say one of the reasons, but usually before it gets too cold. So usually in the fall is when I will clean my smokers out really, really well. Because it's so cold in the winter, I can't run a hose out to my garage, and I can't rinse out the cookers. I can't rinse out the smokers as well as I do during the summer. But it's one of those things. I have to wash them out or clean them out in the summer a lot more regularly and a lot better, because if I don't, those of you who have had mold or like nasty gook growing inside of your smoker from just leaving them sit, but in the winter, because it's so cold, that stuff doesn't happen. It doesn't grow. So it's like I can clean them out in the summer really well because the hose works, and I can get water, fresh water, but running water down to my garage. In the winter, I can't get running water down to my garage. So it's like I have to clean the smokers really well before it gets too cold, and I'll just use the heat to help clean the smokers. Yeah, blind man cooking, I won't say it's unreal. It is a feat. Like, I will be hard pressed to find another setup like what I have now. Sarah says, husband washes up nonstop. He's a rock star. I cook. He can read my mind. It's magic. Well, that's why you're married. How long you been married, Miss Sarah? Huh. Mark says, people confuse condescending with confidence and a higher self-esteem. I don't necessarily know if I have the highest self-esteem, but I don't sweat the small stuff. Let's put it that way. I have a little bit of confidence. Definitely more confidence than higher self-esteem. Sarah says, I want to do a whole hog. Yeah. Jack, Mr. Hawkins says, I've never felt you were condescending. You are one of the best teachers I know, in my humble opinion. So in case you don't know what IMHO, you learned something today. Well, Jack, I appreciate that. You know what? I tell you, I had a moment the other day, and this was probably about 2 weeks ago, maybe. Someone commented on one of the videos in that series about when I had a hard time cooking with Bernadette. And I won't say I jumped down that person's throat, but I was really like, did you even watch the video? And part of it was the fact that this person was new to barbecue, and he was new to, what could have caused the problem. And I'm like, did you watch the video? Because I explained what the problem was, but I took it for granted that he would be able to, or she would be able to, understand what I was saying as someone that had experience with cooking and using wood, WOOD, would have. So I won't say a moment of regret, but I caught myself afterward, and I'm like, I didn't mean to come off as a jerk, but I answer a lot of the same questions, and I respond to a lot of the same, I won't say negative feedback. And sometimes, I can just be at my wit's end, or guess what? I too can be having a bad day. And I'll just reply in kind. And I won't say I took it out on that unsuspecting newbie, but I did. And I felt bad, and I apologized, and, all of the above, but that still didn't take it away. Russ said, people say I'm condescending. Joke, that means I talk down to people. Thank you very much. Thank you. I couldn't remember that, Russ, so thank you very much for that. Googly Moogly says, you're not a condescending at all. LOL, you're a super nice guy. Yeah. People say I'm condescending. That means I talk down to people. Yes. Once I get a little drip of creosote starting to drip, it comes out the burner. Yep. Look, Russ said, Jimmy said, Lloyd's disappeared. I mean, it is what it is. Russ said, I thought IMHO was a healthcare. Yeah. Thanks, Grumpus and Jimmy. I appreciate you. Strict 9 says, pressure washer. Yes. What temp available burns out the best for my use? Also, when temp available, burnout for the next best use also depends on the smoker build dimensions, drainage, ability to drain, dry, and reseason with smokes through the shop here. Yep, there you go. The Champion Ox is one of my favorite teachers. What's up, cousin? What's going on? Wait, let's see. The Champion Ox. All right, it's one of those things. You say, what's up, cousin? I got to make sure you're not my cousin, because I got some cousins. Like, I got some cousins. So, Little Fish, he says, hello, Dash. How you doing? Marcel, what's up? Sarah says, not my first marriage. My husband passed away. Well, sorry to hear that. A few years later, I started dating my best friend. We have been married for 8 years now, been a couple for 11. I met him when I was 18, though. Well, damn. Yo, what up, Eric? My buddy Eric is another one of my good friends, my car friends. He says, evening all. He said, evening all up in here. So, Eric, it's so funny. I saw a plate the other day. It said Mufasa, and I did not get a chance to take a picture of it and send it to you, but I knew you would have appreciated that. Jack says, hey, Russ, I think you meant HMO. B says, I use the flamethrower and let the creosote crack and do its thing, then pressure wash it out, then reseason and burn. Yeah. All right, Champion Ox says, you schooled me on the smoking meats years ago, and I've been grateful since. Well, thank you. You know what, man? It's one of those things where I am a firm believer, and if you've been around my channel, you've been around the live streams, you've been around long enough, you've heard me say, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, and he'll eat for a lifetime. I am all about teaching a man how to fish, all right? Or Sarah's case, she's a pretty lady. The ladies, too, all right? We'll let the ladies. This is not the He-Man, what is it, the He-Man Haters Club? No. Or She-Woman Haters Club? No. We are equal educators, equal opportunity educators. All right. Mark says text is the form of communication. Excuse me. Mark says text is a form of communication, be it a poor form, can't see the person's facial expressions or intentions. Okay, or intentions. That's the piece that always needs to be added. And I tell you guys, I'll be completely honest. There are times when people come off as buttholes in the comments, and they're like, I didn't mean that as a slight. Well, guess what? If I took it as a slight, then it felt like a slight. What is it? If it smells like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Yeah. All right. Man, I've had people hate me without even hearing my voice. Some people just are either too sensitive or too judgmental. Yep. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Jamie Knox is Derek. Oh yeah. All right, Derek. What's up, brother D? How you doing? Look, B says, Sarah, I'm offended by that. But let me tell you, Sarah, hold on. Everybody else put earmuffs on, okay? Everyone but Sarah put earmuffs on. All right? Sarah, Brian is so easily offended. If you tell him Texas sucks, he will go and run and cry. So just as an aside, don't say anything negative about Texas or Houston, especially. Oh my gosh. Don't do it. Don't do it. Talk about he will find a ledge and he will walk off it if you say anything bad about Texas. So don't do it. Sarah, please, just don't do it. Eric says, oh man, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I saw it and I was like, oh man, I wasn't in a position to take a picture of it, but I almost took a picture and sent it to you. Sarah says, hell, I've met some men that don't like me because I love to cook and smoke meat. Still straight up tell me I couldn't possibly be as good as them. She said, LOL, bet. Look. What's up, Trey? Yo, all of my friends are coming through tonight, hanging out on the live stream. You guys know my friend Travis. Hey, yo, It's Dash. What's up, Travis? How you doing this evening? It's like y'all plotting against me. Y'all all coming in here just to mess with me, huh? Sarah says, I love your personality. I just found you, but I've probably watched years worth, almost all. Well, thank you so very much. That really does mean a lot, because I can tell you from experience, there are some people where I have found their videos and I have gone back and watched their videos. So when you say that you took the time to watch my videos, I know what that entails. And also, I'm just going to apologize for the early videos because, like, within the last 2 to 3 years, I have really tried to step up my video quality, the structure of my videos, the editing, and like back in the day when I used to do like one take videos, I sucked. Jimmy, I'm not even going to read that. Yeah. So, Dark Mufasa, that's Eric. That's Afro Eric with the red R on air that never airs out. That Eric. Just to make sure you know. Holy cow. Dean, what's up, man? Deemer's up in the building. He says he's cleaning his basement and forgot to tune in. He said, let's go. What up, Deemer? Yo, the my friends to y'all ratio, everybody else, not B. I hate to put him in that friend bracket because Texas, and so proud of Texas and all of those other things. But, he's one of the folks that's here that I've met aside from Jimmy. Jimmy, where's Kirk at? Kirk, maybe he'll help like offset to the subscribers, to people anyway, Marcus, I've met. Jamie, I've met. But they're probably asleep. Jamie's curled up under a blanket on her couch and Marcus is probably half, in the sauce. All right. So where y'all at? But my friends have turned out tonight. I really appreciate it. Sarah says, "Are you darling me? I guess, am I daring you?" Yeah. Oh man. She says she loved living in Texas. Biscuits, meatloaf. We need a report. Damn it, Sarah. Damn it. Ugh. Well, here's the good news. The good news is my wife has been away all week long. So, yeah. I also have not been into Sam's to purchase anything. So, she's been gone all week, so I haven't, I won't say had to, but I haven't had the opportunity to make meatloaf. And also because I have not been to Sam's, I have not purchased biscuits. All right. Eric says, yeah, I ain't airing out. Peer pressure. Yep. Mark says saying someone offends you is saying someone controls you. You don't take responsibility for your emotions. A person can't sneeze, offend you or upset you. You choose to be offended. Eric says, biscuits. I want some biscuits now. I'm hungry. Yeah, Jeffrey Sims. He says, hello, Dash from Jersey. Dirty Jers. What's up? I like the old ones. Your warmth and personality was always there. I love cooking and hearing about trends from around the country. Totally fascinates me. Mr. Kane says, your videos are awesome. So much info. Love to watch the cooks. That young lady at the end is a little cutie too. Well, thank you, Mr. Kane. So it's so funny. Tomorrow's video and crap. How can I get y'all tomorrow's video? Let's see. We're not deep enough into the second hour yet. Y'all gotta wait. Hey B, I'm gonna need, I got something in my eye. Hold on. Oh my gosh, there's something in both of my eyes right now. And B, hold on, blind man cooking. I'm holding 3 fingers above in front of my eyes, and I'm rubbing my eyes because there's something in my eyes, and I need to tell B to read between the lines. So if you can pick up what I'm putting down, B, all right? Talking about, I'm just jealous of Texas is dripping off of me. Nah, bruh, not at all, okay? All right? Sarah says, man, I want another Restaurant Depot video. So I tell you what, Sarah, it's so funny. I go into Restaurant Depot rather regularly. The problem is Restaurant Depot, they play music in Restaurant Depot, and I can't play those videos. I can't, I won't say in good conscience, but I can't. It's one of those things where if I'm in Restaurant Depot and I'm filming and I'm trying to talk to you guys, they have like blaring music inside of Restaurant Depot. So I can't always film. Eric says, I've been stuck 6 times so far today. Nurse is practicing on me. Oh, man, Eric, dude, like, feel better, man. Like, for real, feel better. Russ says, more butter, baby. Jack says, read between the lines. Yeah. Blind Man Cooking, I'm glad, you know, see, I have to look out for the visually impaired, you know? I gotta, you know what's so funny? When I do different things, I think it sounds so much funnier explaining them to those of you who might not be able to see exactly what I am doing. So, you know, I'm even ADA compliant around this speech. Yeah. I'm like holding my hands up, getting all hyped, like, yeah, ADA compliant, fist in the air. Woo! Woo! Yeah. Translate that Google site or something like that, whatever the screen reader. Yeah, translate that screen reader. Yeah. Yeah, she's like a rational, logical, and responsible person. He said refreshing. Eric is in the hospital right now. But you know, he's sitting here with us. What a better way to pass the time than to, sit on a live stream. Yeah, I can't think of a better way to waste the time away of sitting in a hospital in an ER. I'm not even gonna lie. I was in urgent care, and it was in urgent care last night. Actually, I'm like earlier this week. No, it was last night. We sat in the urgent care. We had a COVID scare, and it was my wife's niece. Her daughter was exposed, and we got notified yesterday afternoon. And when I say, oh man, it's just one of those things where you never understand what the meaning of it never ends is until you are a parent. So, as I said earlier, my wife is out of town. My wife is in Florida right now. She's in Florida at my mother-in-law's house. That being said, I get a phone call or a text message yesterday, and it says, we may have been exposed to COVID. I need you to get the kids tested. Well, actually, she just said we may have been exposed to COVID. And my first thought is, oh, damn, I need to get the kids tested. All right, well, I pick up my daughter from school. I tell my middle son, hey, I need you to come directly home from school because he wanted to go and hang out and play basketball after school with some of the kids from school. And my oldest son, he comes right home pretty much every day. So I collect them all, and it's like, pew! We go to urgent care, and urgent care that I go to that's close to the house, that I have I think I told you, I went to this urgent care a while ago because we were getting tested because we were going to be around my mother-in-law, and she was, a little leery about the whole situation. Come to find out, the girl who was the nurse at the urgent care place, I cooked for her wedding. I cooked their wedding. So when I went in there, she was like, hey, you don't remember me, do you? And I'm like, no. She said, well, I do have a mask on, and I've lost like 60 pounds. And I was like, okay, well, let me see your face. And I'm like, wait a minute, you do look kind of familiar, but you don't look the same. She's like, yeah. And she started telling me who she was. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So little do I won't say little do I know, but anytime I had an issue or needed to go get testing or anything like that, business, work, travel related, I always hit her up, and it was never a thing. But when I had to go in there like a regular person, walking in, they're like, our walk-ins are full. We don't have any more walk-in, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right. So I go to another spot. They're like, no, we don't actually do rapid COVID testing. You have to, try here. I call this place. I call that place. I call this place. I call that place. They're like, oh, no, our walk-ins are full. So finally, after like the 6th or 7th place, I speak to someone, and I'm like, listen, I got to get my kids tested right now. I can't wait till tomorrow. I need them tested tonight so I can know whether or not they can go to school tomorrow. Like, I can't hold them and keep them out of school. Like, this is just not the way it's going to happen. And the lady actually, she leveled with me, and she said, well, hey, call this place here. It's about half an hour away from my house. She said, call this place, see if they have any more walk-ins. I'm like, all right, fine. So I call them, and they're like, okay, we can do a walk-in appointment for you. But just to let you know, it's going to be a 3-hour wait. And I'm like, damn. Was that going to be 3 hours from now or 3 hours from when I sign in? She said 3 hours from when you sign in. like I said, I was a half an hour away. When I say I beat feet, and I will not say that there were not triple digit speeds to get to this place, but went there, got signed in. It was 6:30. They are supposed to close at 9 o'clock. We didn't get seen until 9:30, and by the time we got seen and tested and results came back negative, for all of us, it was like 10 o'clock. After 10 o'clock, by the time I got home last night. So yeah, all right. Quick story. Not so quick. Eric hopes things go well. Yeah, so being in the ER or having something to do while at the, I wish that was me yesterday. All right, so Sarah, I have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, and my wife. Technically, there's a cat too, but she doesn't count. So there are 2 ladies in the house. So yeah, 2 ladies and 3 boys. Strickland says, anyone use spray apple cider vinegar to help strip off for high heat cleaning? No, never heard that. Yes, I did actually get the vaccine because of the fact that with the fact that I was going to be around people in food service, I figured it was a good idea for me to get it done. Yep. Thank you, Russ. 2 sons and a daughter. Yep, I've cleaned with apple cider vinegar, but white vinegar is what I clean with most things. Wife and 2 granddaughters at my house every weekend. I stay neck deep in estrogen all the time. How many of you have channels? I need to subscribe to you. Sorry, I'm so late. So Mike has a channel, Cars and Barbecue with Mike. As people, as I see people's channels, I will write them out or call them out. Eric says, hello, Dash El Barrio Cookers. Texas Confederate. It's Mo Butter, baby. And not more butter. That's too proper. It's Mo Butter, baby. You gotta it's gotta roll off the tongue. How you doing, sir? You are someone that I would like to confer with about making a smoker. When and or if that situation, that time comes, I will let you guys know, and I will gladly accept any and all. I got something on my eyelashes. I can see it. Any and all input. I might not use it all, but yeah. So Jimmy from Cuff and Stuff Barbecue, he has a channel. Let's see. Who else? Patriot Barbecue also has a channel. Grumpus on Fire also has a channel. Those of you guys, yeah. No, don't. It's just one of those things. It's like, it's like, okay, Texas Confederate, right? You go to Texas and you hear people say, hey, y'all, all right? As opposed to people saying, like, I don't know, like, I don't even know how else to say it. It's just like, hey, y'all. It just rolls better. Mo Butter, baby. I don't know. It's just, just like I'm like, hey, yo. All right. There you go. There's folks raising hands and stuff like that. Texas Confederate, you missed it. Someone called me condescending. Was that condescending to say it's not more butter, baby? It's Mo Butter, baby. Was that condescending? I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be. Let's see. Okay, so Grumpus says he has a channel. Patriot Barbecue says he has a channel. Strickland says wire brushes on grates or wetted sponges. Or wet sponges, I guess would be the... I use a combination of tools and things between scrapers, and I'm telling you, I use wire brushes for a reason, because they work very well. I am also like really anal about checking and looking behind when I use a wire scraper. So I have seen and had pieces of that wire brush break off, and it does happen. I'm not even going to lie. You just have to be cognizant of it and look out for it. Mark says, Dash, I see you weld. Did you go to school for welding? Nope. I watched YouTube University, watched a lot of folks weld. I was interested in it and wanted to learn how to weld, and I just watched a lot of YouTube. And then I bought myself a welder, and the rest is history. Russ says, if Blue can count yawns, I can count hiccups. Well, fine. El Barrio said, I recently sold my smaller trailer pit for a bigger trailer with a running hot and cold water sink, and I'm constantly cleaning during our pop-ups. Yes. Texas Confederate said, Mo butter, baby. This is why I like you guys. You get me. Like, yeah. El Barrio Cooker says, I have a very small channel. Well, you know how you get your small channel bigger? Yeah. Jeffrey Sims says, did I look into the rotisserie yet? I looked into it. ABS was American Barbecue Systems smokers. I saw that I would love to get one of those. Just a matter of affording it. Strict says, thanks. Yeah. B said wire, then Brillo, sponge, then onion. Wire is notorious for breaking. Yes, indeed. Herman says, I use wire brushes, then follow up with fiber bristles, then wipe it with a terry towel. Wire brush wheel on a drill, then olive oil on a rag under heat. Texas Confederate says, I love you, brother. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you. You know what is crazy? I can honestly say, like, there are some folks that are here on the live streams and comment on the videos that have been around for a long time. And Texas Confederate is one of those folks who I remember being in the comments like early on when I was starting to do the live stream and in the videos. So yeah, I won't say I don't forget, but I really don't. I do remember a lot of the stories, the talking, the communication. So I really can't say thank you guys enough for hanging out with me and being here. And it's not, I won't say hanging out with me, because it's us. We are an us. So for hanging out with us. El Barrio says, I always use the terry cloth with oil to wipe down after using the wire brush. All right. Strict says, thanks, everybody. Oh, my God. Eric then took it back. He says, don't you hate it when videos... My man Eric has been around, and some of you guys who have watched some of the older videos, if you go back, if you know, all right, I talk about this every now and again. The first video I uploaded to YouTube was actually a video of taste tester number 1. Before he was taste tester number 1, he was riding around on an electric motorcycle in our yard. And it was so cute and innocent. I was like, I just gotta share this. Like, I'm gonna put it on YouTube. I had been watching YouTube videos for quite a while, and I was like, I'm gonna put this on YouTube so I can remember it. That was my first video, and then I used to do these animations. Well, actually, before the animations, I put up some videos about, like, we went to a monster truck rally, monster truck show, and I put up monster truck videos, and then I put up this video about going to a concert. Some of you guys might know who Nice Peter is. Nice Peter was the guy who did the... Actually, it was... I'm trying to think what the name of it was. It was a specific thing. It was something... It was... I can't remember what it was called. But Nice Peter, he does the epic rap battles of history. He's the guy behind epic rap battles of history. But there was a YouTube, like a Live Nation or a YouTube Nation tour, and they stopped in Baltimore. I took my camera and I went and I recorded this show. It was a live show, and it was dope. Like, folks who performed and like sung songs and did like stuff. They were live in Baltimore, and it was a really intimate event. And I mean, like 150, 200 people at the max were in this event, this venue, and this dude rapped on stage. And when I say he rapped on stage, he performed the Nice Peter Chuck Norris versus Abe Lincoln rap battle flawlessly. When I say dude was picked out of the crowd, went up on stage. So that video is one of the highest viewed videos of mine I have. Like, it might be close to 1 million views I have on that video. But anyway, around the same time that I started doing the Don't You Hate It When videos, that video popped off. And when it popped off, I was able to get like a YouTube partnership, and that was kind of what led me down to the path where I am currently. I used to do the Don't You Hate It When videos, and then after the Don't You Hate It When videos, I actually started doing the barbecue stuff. So I know Texas Confederate has been around since when I just started doing the barbecue stuff, which was like 2014, 2015-ish. So, oh, and I forgot, there was a whole year when I did beard video stuff. So, in 2013. So, those of you guys who are new here, yeah. Nah, man, Texas Confederate, thank you, man. Dude, you've been rocking with me for quite some time. So, Sarah, that kind of brings you up to speed, and anyone else who doesn't know, now you know. Man, I don't want to pull the trigger on a new pit boss because they don't have a rotisserie. Mark says, I use a wire brush and use a compressor to blow off the grill after. I've tested the blower with wire bristles to see if it can blow off, and it will. Nice. Dash, how long you been doing lives? I'm not sure when I found you. So, Grumpus, I've been doing live streams for like approximately, I think it's 5 years. There is a whole, like, almost a category, but a whole thing where you can go and look and see when I started doing the lives. I think it's been 5 years I've been doing live streams, at least. Sarah says, man, maybe weird, but my husband is super hard on jeans. He gets holes in his knees, and he's an electrician. Cut them up, and they are amazing to clean, the grill and smoker. Seriously, jeans? Really? I don't know. I found Duluth Trading, and I talk about Duluth Trading. I love my Duluth Trading company pants, the Fire Hose Flex pants. Yeah, they're like $80 a pair, but oh my god, they are the absolute best. I have not torn a pair of these jeans, or excuse me, pants, because they're cargo pants. I have not torn a pair of these pants yet. All right, and I am pretty hard on pants. I think I'm subscribed to all that spoke up. Looking forward to checking out some videos. Yes, look, Beast is Bell, Biv DeVoe got back together to do a show for a pandemic special. Yep. Talk about poison. Steven says, smash that thumbs up, y'all. Strict Now says, much love to SDSBBQ and the barbecue fam. Off to sleep. Well, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bug bite. Oh, man. Captain Newbie says, first video, 450 views, May 31st, 2010. He said, yeah, 12 years served as an electrician, and outlets are down low. Yep. That started a very long time ago. The bee said, poison. If I were you. Look at this. Ooh, buddy. If I were you, I'd take precaution. Look what's crazy. The water that was down in the bottom of the cup, because it is heavier than the alcohol that was above it, froze. That is nuts. And what's even crazier is I know what it is. Because of the fact that alcohol is heavier than, water is heavier than alcohol. Let's pour some warm, because I need to get all that water out, because that water is down. Goodness gracious. Take my straw, stir up the bottom of the, and the ice is free. All right. Now we'll take this and pour it into the cup. Oh boy. Alright. Tonight's a good night. We having a good conversation. When you coming back to Texas? I feel like Texas is an annual pilgrimage for me. If I can afford it, it might be, I don't know. I feel like I can't come to Texas any later than maybe April or May. Yo, I can't take the heat. So yeah. Texas Confederate says, can you do a video on cooking rabbit? I think if I do a video on cooking rabbit, it will be while in Texas, and I will have to cook said rabbit with Marcus. But you know what? There's another guy who is who has done Rabbit, and I don't know. Maybe I'll have to talk to him and see if I can get him to possibly make that happen, make it a possibility, and we can cook Rabbit. He gave me grief. Well, he cooked Rabbit, and I gave him grief, and then he gave me grief, so I might have to, yeah. Sarah says, yeah, he crawls around in attacks and digs, ditches, running wire. Can't wait till next year, and he won't have to do it anymore. He does rough in construction, electrical, building hospitals and nursing homes. What's the number one to clear? I don't know. If I had to guess, it's probably like in the 80s, 70s, 80s. It's. Hold on. Not that I'm going to regret this, but I'm going to. It's potent, but not nearly as potent as some other stuff I've had. I need to go get a small damn jar and put it in the small jar and get you to look at it. Hold on. Oh. This stepped on. Like, seriously stepped on. Yeah. Seriously stepped on. This might be 75 proof, and it might be a stretch. Oh yeah. I didn't even make a face. That's stepped on. It's that Texas drip. Hey B, you know what? I'm not even going to show you. I want you to read between the lines again. Barrio says, would you wait in line 4+ hours for famous barbecue? I myself wouldn't. I think it's overrated. Well, it depends. If it was one of those once in a lifetime opportunities, possibly I might do it. I've waited in line for far less. I tell you, you know what's crazy? I won't say weekly. Almost every week I used to wait in a line for ammo. So ammo crisis, ammo shortage. I used to wait in line for like an hour, sometimes 2 hours for ammo. And then, you know, when there was no ammo or it wasn't what I wanted, I was thoroughly disappointed. So I've waited in lines for less. Anyone try the Wicked Sinful Cider? So nice. Brian Harrington says it's so hard to stay on topic when talking to you because there's just so many questions to ask. Well, Brian, listen, I can't stay on topic my damn self because I have the attention span of a gnat sometimes, and you know it depends on what and how much I'm drinking as well. Look, even Sarah's new here. She's just staying on topic. LOL. So you know what? I had somebody call me out on the fact that I never stayed on topic, right? Is that you do these live streams and you pick a topic and you never talk about that topic. So that's why I kind of enacted that rule of saying hi to everybody for the first 10 or 15 minutes of the live stream. And then like that last 45 minutes of the first hour, I try to stay on topic and talk about the topic at hand. And then the second hour of the live stream from then on until we're done, until we finish talking, I kind of we just talk about whatever. You know, I like, if you've seen me in a video where I talk about the live stream, there was a while where I had an outro almost that was, hey, you know, it was with my daughter, and it was, hey, you know, join us on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we have a live stream. Oh man, B, I saw. I think the day I contacted you about that guy, I think you were in the store picking that up because I saw it on Instagram. But anyway, I was talking about the live stream in the end clip of the video or of the videos, and I was like, hey, you know, for the first hour we talk about something barbecue or barbecue business related. In the second hour we kind of, you know, we shoot the breeze and we talk about whatever. Just bring your refreshing beverage and join us. Yeah. Mike says, Dash, would you ever consider doing a sit-down interview on you and your channel? Yes, I would, Mike, and I have. I have actually done 2 interviews. I did one interview with PayPal. PayPal has an office local to me, like a regional satellite office, where they rolled out and did the PayPal here. They kind of like hubbed it there, or they were in charge of it there. I don't know what to call it, but anyway, they reached out to me because I used the PayPal here feature, and they call it something else now, but it was called PayPal here PayPal. Shoot, it wasn't PayPal here. It was something. Damn it! It was like a few years ago. Anyway, with that being said, they reached out to me and they had me cater a lunch for them, and then all part of me catering the lunch, I sat down and I was interviewed by one of the like managers or program directors or whatever from the PayPal division that PayPal Working Capital was what it was called. So yes, I did that, and I actually did a podcast, my first podcast. Yes, it was my first podcast. It was a subscriber who reached out to me and he says, "Hey man, I would love to interview you for my podcast." It was I'm gonna say a few weeks ago. It was a few months ago, and the podcast was called, oh shoot, it was something for the culture, doing it for the culture, or oh man, I feel bad that I can't remember, but I have a sucky memory when it comes to some things, and other things I could like spit off years later. It is very weak, Mike. Yep. Dash, you ever thought about doing a series of barbecuing with other YouTubers? Yes, Mark, I have. Mark, you know it's so funny. It's one of those things where I was literally running out of things to do, and I'm like, I want to start cooking with other folks, like traveling. And this is one of those things, and I've said it on live streams, and I'm like, listen, if I can get to the point where I can like make YouTube my full-time thing, right? If I can make YouTube my full-time thing, I would travel the country and cook with folks, and it would be like I won't say drive around, but I would go around and cook with folks, you know, spend a weekend with somebody and cook with them and like try to help them better their barbecue. Because like one of the things that I noticed, I can go someplace and I'll look at something and I will analyze it, and I can say, here, let me make a suggestion. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna make this better. I'm gonna say I can make a suggestion, and then you can either say that's gonna work or that's not gonna work. And before, I used to have it in my mind, and I would go and I would like analyze the situation, analyze something, and say, this is a better way to do it. That's not always the case, and I don't know. I'm like self-conscious about being condescending now. Someone gave me a complex, but I notice things. Okay, I see things, and I can see the difference in how I would do something versus how someone else is doing something, and all I can do is impart my way of doing it, and it'll either help you or it'll hurt you. Case in point. Hold on, let me catch up on the comments and I'll tell you. I will wait 4 hours and love it. There's something magical about Texas barbecue, not because it's Texas, but because of the process and the passion. All right. He says, oh, I got a new baby today, Dash. This thing's a beast. Oh, another one. All right. Russ said, you just reminded me what I need to get more of than the foil. Yep. Barbecue's a craft, not for everyone. Nope. Texas Converter says, hey, barbecue cookers, I'm in El Paso. Yes. Mr. Kane, the secret is out. No need to wait 4 hours. So many others can do the same thing. Not only can others do the same thing, I've been told that sometimes it can be better. You can't even use that shine as a hand sanitizer. Man, look. Yeah. That's gonna get the still back together. That's it. I'm gonna get the still back together. Hey, Russ, do not threaten me with a good time, okay? Video Fix Fest show this year. I'm gonna be famous. Oh, Travis. He says, if anyone's into European cars, yes, European cars, as I am, Volkswagens, Audis, Porsches, BMWs, Volvos, all right. He says, keep an eye out for Euro Tuning's upcoming video for their Fix Fest show this year. I'm going to be famous, yeah. Texas Confederate says, we all need to meet. Yes, indeed. B said, I'm down. I'm out in Clear Lake. Yep. El Barrio Cooker's funny. Yeah, he's an imitator. Hold on, B. You can't send me text messages. I'm in the middle using my phone for the live stream. Grumbus is my neighbor with the nicest hair. Yeah. Texas Confederate says, I'm a welder and I build barbecues. Yes, indeed, he does. He's chimed in a few times when I have done or, said different things. So I always find it funny when he chimes in because I'm like, dang, man, I just need you to get me to build one. Excuse me. Yeah, I just need you to build one for me. Laura says, hey, Dash and all, miss me. Yes, we did. We were talking about you earlier, only in the nicest of ways, though. Russ was talking about how you had the yawn counter, so he was going to set up a hiccup counter. Midwest guys you cook with are great with the bacon and pies. I forget the names. Look good and entertaining. Midwest guys you cook with are great with bacon and pies. What are you talking about, Eric? Midwest? I went to Texas. That's not Midwest. That's the South. That's Texas. I definitely need you to be. Oh, Jimmy said I definitely need to be your first. So I can tell you what, Jimmy. There is someone who has been pining for me to cook with them. And when I say pining, like we have actually been in talks. It's coming. Like soon I will cook with this gentleman. He is one state north of you. I would love to try what you suggest and then tell you because you never know. Yes, indeed, Mike. Captain Newbie says, I think he was just sitting lower than his monitor. That's why he said you were condescending. Sarah says, my husband asked me why we need another smoker. Because. That's why. It's like, do you only need one screwdriver or only one hammer? No, you need multiple. You know why? Because they each work better and do different things. And yeah, First Loves is your Dash. Laura says the vinegar is a great disinfectant. Travis, my favorite car is a Porsche 928 from the late 80s. Nope, I won't say my favorite, but my favorite, by far one of my favorite Porsches. And if you have not seen it, okay, I'm going to own a Porsche before I die. Like, one day I'm going to own a Porsche. I went to the Porsche Museum in Stuttgart, and oh my gosh, the Porsche that I fell in love with when I was there was the 917, the one that they affectionately called the Pink Pig. That is my favorite. I actually have two Pink Pig model cars, and yeah, the Pink Pig. Look up the 917 Porsche 917 and the Pink Pig. As a barbecue guy, you'll understand when you see it. Darnell, what's going on? Mark's Dash sounds good on traveling and helping other YouTubers. Just a suggestion, you ever thought of doing videos with other barbecue caterers showing how to better their catering? Dash Help series. So sometimes, Mark, so it's one of those things, and I'm going to get into this in a second. I started talking about it, but I wanted to catch up on the comments. So some people can take criticism, and it's not necessarily, I won't say criticism, but some people can take help and other people can't. I can go in and I can say, hey, why don't you do this? Or why don't you, I can make a suggestion. And some people will say, nah, it works better my way. And it's like, try it. Try it the way I suggested and see if it helps. See if it works. See if it, anything. And some people are willing to try it. Other people are not. Sarah says, I just said cuz LOL. Asked him why he needs a new light. A backlit keyboard. He said cuz LOL. Nice. Fire with fire. Ooh. Texas Confederate said, I will build you a beautiful barbecue pit. And this is one of those moments where I need to say, do not threaten me with a good time. The only problem is I wish that I was not such an irresponsible youth and I was not literally paying for my irresponsibility when it comes to my credit. Now, okay, when I was a kid, I'm like, I'll pay it off later. Here it is later. Anyway, my wife asked me if I was going to sell my old smoker when I got my new one. He said he just laughed. Laura says I had to close my story so I can correct stuff and listen. Okay. I think Traeger has a pink pig pellet smoker. They do. Actually, I was at a Ace Hardware yesterday, and I walked past it, and it was so funny. I was telling my daughter, because she was with me, so you guys, what time is it? 10:45. Not yet. But I was telling my daughter, I was like, oh, look, this is a smoker. B said, Dash, you're going to be the Gordon Ramsay barbecue. Listen, y'all pay me to be, y'all pay me the same amount of money that Gordon Ramsay makes, I'll do it. Just forget calling me Dash. Don't call me my government name. You can call me Gordon all you want. Put Gordon on the paycheck too, damn it. I don't care. I sure would. Listen, I will work for a Tonka Porsche. Yeah, for a Tonka Porsche. You know what? I have a video from when I was in Germany at the Porsche Museum. I highly recommend you watch it. And if you watch it after seeing or being here for the live stream, please comment like you told me to watch the video, so I did. Yeah, it was 2018 or 2019 I was in Germany. So just do a search on Germany. And yeah. Sarah says, I can't let go of my old ones easily. I have to give them to my kids. My son has my first smoker, LOL charcoal wood only. He said he loves it. Nice. Mario says, did I watch the Ravens game? No, I did not. So I tell you what, it's unfortunate. I do not sit down or sit still long enough a lot of times to watch football. And if I am going to watch football, it's going to be the Eagles. It's primarily the only thing I'm going to watch. It's like one of those things. If I can't watch the Eagles, I'm not going to watch anything. Yes, the 917 is a race car. It was a Le Mans car, a 12-cylinder Le Mans car. Having multiple smokers is like having a bunch of family members. Yeah. Same here on the credit dash. I had to wait a year to get my credit score up to get this roof solar deal. No kidding. Jeez. You mean he has another name? Yeah, right. That's so funny. I spoke to someone today, and he says, hey, I noticed your videos. You go by Dash. He said, but I got an email from you, and it has this other name. He said, I kind of want to ask you, which do you prefer? And I'm like, doesn't matter. Just don't call me late for dinner. Okay, just looked up the pink pig. He said, LOL, this is too much. Yo, but the whole thing, Sarah, and I'm not going to tell you what, but like when or if I get a trailer or a truck, it is going to have a pink pig livery. Like, it's got to. It has to. And or I will have a vehicle with that pink pig livery on it. Like, for sure. B said I was out of the country almost 15 years, unplugged from the credit system. It's been a nightmare trying to reestablish myself when moving. I guess he said it's been a nightmare. Mr. Hawkins said the Eagles won, the Seahawks won, but the Baltimore Ravens didn't. I was hoping for a carnivore bird win. Well, the Falcons didn't win because the Eagles played the Falcons, didn't we? Bring it on down. We'll wrap it up. Travis, my man. Travis, man. Travis, you know what? I don't think I told you. That smoker you helped me build, the number 2 drum, actually sold it. I had somebody, this neighbor, my neighbor up the street, he had been bugging me to build him a smoker. And I'm like, dude, I don't make them anymore. I can't make them because they're not, like, I'm making no money. The price of metal has gone up, and, like, it's just, everything has gone up. So he kept asking me. Finally, I was like, look, bring me a drum, and I'll make one for you. I'll make one for you. And it was to the point where I told him, hey, it's going to be 2 weeks for me to make this drum for you. 2 weeks and a day, and I hadn't even started on this damn drum because I did not want to make it that bad. I just didn't want to do it. So I hit him up, and I'm like, listen, had a whole bunch going on. I actually did have a death in the family. Those, you know, my sister-in-law passed away. And I'm like, I have not, like, I haven't been home in like a week and a half, basically. So unfortunately, I haven't started. So I'm gonna need another week. He's like, okay, no problem, sure. And I'm like, all right. I go out there to try to use the drum he gave me. He gave me a drum that had motor oil in it. I can't use this drum, dog. Like, I turned the drum over and literally poured out 2 or 3 quarts of oil. I'm like, bruh. So I said, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take the drum, my number 2 drum, off of the. I had it on top of one of the refrigerators outside in the garage. I said I'm gonna take it down. I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna refurbish it. I sanded down the outside of it and repainted it and refurbished everything inside. Anything that needed to be cleaned up, I cleaned up. Got him a new thermometer. Got him a new grill dome. And I'm like, bruh, listen. I told you the price is gonna be this. I'm gonna take $100 off because I'm giving you a used drum. I said, but this used drum has been proven. Like, I used this drum, and I'm like, I can't get you the things that I need to get you, so I'm gonna give you this one, and I'm gonna give you $100 discount. He was like, okay, all right, cool. Here you go. Here is your drum. So I've been talking to him. He walks past my house 2 or 3 times a day. Well, 2 to 4 times a day. He's telling me he's using it already. He used to be he's a trained chef. He used to work in a retirement facility. He retired himself, or an old folks home, and he retired. And now he's got a little side hustle going. Cool with me. Laura says, don't make us wait for dinner, please. Buy materials and make it a video. Shoot. Yeah. Travis, don't do that. It made more sense. It made sense. Because I would have had to give him his money back, and not that I didn't have it to give it back to him. It just would have been a whole thing. So I figured I'd give him something. No, he didn't burn it out, man. Yes, motor oil. Motor oil. Did that lady you had the turkey discrepancy with see your video about her? And has she called you back for another order? No, she has not seen my video. She doesn't. She's not cultured enough to watch YouTube. But what's crazy is her uncle lives up the street from me, and he hits me up all the time asking me for ribs. And I haven't cooked any ribs recently in a while. Pedro Torres says, "What's up, fellows?" Well, there are guys and ladies here, so you gotta say hi to everybody. Yes, it did. Yes, indeed, Travis. I kind of thought about it that way too. He said at least it lives on. That drum has been sitting idly for 4 or 5 years. We built that drum in 2005 or 2015. Sorry, it has been sitting idle for 4 or 5 years. Motor oil adds special flavor, Laura says. Yeah, we do build quality stuff, sure enough. Even a quality friendship. Oh. Yo, FunFam tuning? For sure. For sure. We should have charged some extra $100 for the hazmat removal. Yeah. Look, Travis. Oh. Travis gets me. Travis definitely gets me. Like, oh gosh, man. He's a good cat. Like, as much as he got on my nerves when he'd be like hanging out and doing stuff all the time, I'm like, yo, go home, Travis. Oh man, Family Matters. It's like, go home, Roger. That's how Travis used to be over my house. Oh man, but I love Travis to death, man. He's such a cool cat. Oh man, we've been through some stuff, Travis and I. Dude, so Travis, you'll appreciate this. Do you remember Thistle Road? So, drive past your aunt and uncles where they live up in Catonsville, and before you get to Dimitri's, you turn left down that road. That road, Thistle Road. I now drive up and down Thistle Road 2 to 4 times a day. Well, at least once a day. Taking taste tester number 3 to school. So she goes to school back down there off of Ilchester. And yo, This morning was one of the first mornings where I got a clear run at going down Thistle Road. It's usually almost always somebody who can't drive just driving down Thistle Road. So Thistle Road, I just, you know what? I need to just, I swear I did take a video of it one day. Travis and I were ripping up and down this road. We were ripping back and forth up and down Thistle Road. Like, ripping up and down Thistle Road. Oh, yeah. Definitely remember that one. Oh, sister. Thank you, Darnell. Darnell, Family Matters was Urkel, and it was like, did I do that? Kind of getting him confused. But yeah, thank you, Darnell, for the 90s sitcom check. But yeah. Sister, go home, Roger. That's how I used to basically be like, Travis, all right, Travis, like, go home. Yeah. But I might have to do a video and show you guys just how twisty and turny this back road is. Got any cheese? You're a cool guy to hang with. I couldn't help it. Yeah, hard to find good company. Sure enough. If this, these videos are anything, I mean, look at all these folks. Anyway, I don't want to offend Brian. All right, so let me tell you. So speaking of going and cooking and going to places, right? I went to. You guys have seen Tony. Tony came to my house and we did we sliced the brisket. Or I sliced the brisket up, and he was here when I did it. All right. And the whole thing was, he was standing here and he's like, it's a whole different experience seeing it happen in person in front of my eyes versus me watching it in video. He said it was a whole nother experience seeing it happen, though he's seen it on video a couple dozen times, right? He said being here and seeing it happen was just eye-opening. When I did that whole, I told you guys about how I went from Baltimore to Philly, Philly to Baltimore, Baltimore to Florence, South Carolina, South Carolina to Central Florida, Central Florida to Atlanta, Atlanta to Charlotte. I stopped in Charlotte and I went to Tony's house. I stopped at Tony's house and he gave me a tour of his house, and oh my gosh, like, talk about, I want some of the stuff Tony has. Tony has a separate kitchen in his house, and I'm thinking this will be great for my YouTube videos. This will be great for my business because I could set my kitchen. There you go, Russ. I could set my kitchen up the way that I want my kitchen set up, and I wouldn't have to be fighting with the other 4 people in my house to be in the kitchen. Anyway, when I went to Tony's kitchen, I immediately saw something, and I'm like, dude, let me tell you about a little bit of a process improvement. Like, he has a, I guess it's like a 4x8 or 4x10 foot table, and it's made of like butcher block, so like 1.5, 2 inch butcher block. And then on the end he had a cutting board, right? Same butcher block. And I'm looking at it, and there's no lip, there's no trough, there's no runoff, there's no catch, no nothing. And I'm like, dude, you need to get your uncle who helped you build this. I said, he needs to use a router and put a trough in this. And I started to say to catch the juices and stuff from the. He was like, "Yo, I had the biggest problem with making a mess on the floor because the juices run off." And dude, he was like, he turned to my son. He turned to Texas and one. And he said, "Do you realize what greatness you are in? Like, you are in you are in the presence of greatness." He said, "Your dad just stood here and looked at this and gave me a way to improve it without me asking him, without him looking at it." He said he just saw it. Like, who does that? How? Like, how? And my son is sitting there like smiling and geeking, but Tony was dead damn serious. And I gotta check with Tony. Actually, I'm gonna write myself a note. Check with Tony to see if he made that improvement, because I'm like, dude, put a trough in here to catch the juices of anything you cutting up here, because you're gonna make them. And I like slid my foot on the floor. I'm like, because you're gonna make a mess on the floor. He was like, yo, I gotta clean up the floor now from a mess I made on the floor. I'm like, bruh, like, you can make this better. And then I stood there and I'm standing there and I'm like, yo, I'm like, he has his cutting board on riser. So like, if I'm chest high, right, he's got his cutting board like damn near chest high, so you don't have to, like, you bend over for a long period of time, you're gonna get fatigued. So he had it higher than waist level, so it was like mid stomach high, and then you're not chest high. And I said, dude, I see why it's so high. It'll help you not with fatigue. I said, but that, causes the problem, because now you got to deal with the juices and stuff running off everywhere. And then I'm like, well, it's on a riser. I'm like, you have 4 corners on a riser. I'm like, tilt the damn thing forward. And I said, actually tilt it and then pitch it off the one side and put a hole on this side to capture all of the juices. He was like, yo, you standing here, you just made it that much better. Like, before it was just, like, make a trough in the John. And he was like, no, just... And he, like I said, he looked at Taste Test #1 and he was like, do you realize you are standing in the presence of greatness? He was like, yo, I call you, he's like, I call you Dad Yoda for a reason. He's like, your dad, man, he sees stuff. He so going to people's places and actually cooking and helping with, I would love to do it. Eichland says, greetings to you, Dash. Well, thank you very much. Greetings to you, too. Oh, look. Russ says, oh no, here comes the snorting. Pedro says, I grilled tonight. I'm munching on some corn on the cob. Must grill your next cookout. Must grill on your next cookout. Oh, I cook corn all the time. Yep, that's definitely not the hunt anyone. You're not fresh at 11. Yeah, you're too fresh. Yeah, I know. I did point out the brisket and the pork spare ribs today. I did a point of a brisket, spare ribs. Yep. Cooked the brisket for a baby shower. The expecting mom ate half of it. Well-fed baby for sure. Made a kitchen in the garage, Laura says. Nice. Our boy was built on brisket, B says. Uh-huh. And April hanger, it's basically an outdoor kitchen. Even have a sink and a counter. Sarah, where do you live again? Hey, Jack says, good night, everybody. How do you get a thumbs down on a live video? Cooking ribs and corn tomorrow. Nice. This was a fun one. Yes, Jack, thank you so very much, man, for hanging out. Good luck when you cook tomorrow. You might be gone already because I'm a couple moments behind, but yeah. Good night, sir. Everybody's saying good night. Russ says, no kidding. Good idea. Mr. Hock says, thanks, good people. Yes, we're saying for you to put one in your garage. So, Laura, a bit of a problem. In order for me to put a kitchen in my garage, especially because of the water situation and because it freezes here, it's not going to be as easy as some would hope. You're absolutely right, Dash. Even when we had our stand open, I used a fish table that has a trough around it. Saves so much cleanup. Yep. Hello, Vato Dash and everyone. Gabriel, ¿qué te pasa contigo? Hasham says hello from Egypt. What do you think for uses MSG and burger? Hasham, well, MSG is delicious. I was gonna just try to spell out delicious, but I've been drinking a little bit and I can't spell anything right now. So MSG is delicious. Like, MSG makes delicious more delicious. So, yeah. I want a second kitchen too, Blind Man Cooking says. Sure enough. Wood stove or pellet stove or a fireplace? Laura, that's like saying, should it be red, blue, or green? I need more background information. How can I make a decision? I don't know what exactly you're going to be using that for. I don't know. If I had to guess, I don't know. Each one of them have their advantages and disadvantages. Right, and I put MSG in almost everything. Yep. You know, it's funny, B. When I was in Texas, we were looking at your seasoning. And when I say we, Marcus and I, Marcus is like a seasoning hound. He as a hobby likes to find out what's in something. And we were sitting in a trailer and we poured out some of your seasoning and we're looking at it, and he's like, I don't know what the hell that is. He's like, that's salt, that's this, that's this, that's this. And I'm like, oh, that's MSG. He's like, what? How do you know that? I watch a lot of YouTube. I've seen what MSG looks like. That's MSG. It's distinctive. You can when you know what MSG, that crystalline structure of MSG looks like, you know it. So yeah. Captain Newbie says Uncle Roger approved. Sponsored by Jamie Oliver. Yeah. Warmth so you don't freeze your tush off. Yeah, well, so Laura, if anything, it would probably be a wood burning stove would be the best thing for me, because it would kind of contain fire. The only bad thing is because where my garages are not insulated, and there's a lot to it. It would cost me a lot to put a kitchen outside. Here in my garage is my current setup. Yeah. Sarah says we built a house in the back of an airplane hangar. It's a hangar house. Just gonna bite my tongue with that one. It's really cool. My husband is building a buttercup. All right, nice. I love it when we live in front of a grass runway in the country. Nice. I watched a guy on YouTube. This guy, he does excavation. His YouTube channel is Let's Dig. I think it's Let's Dig 18. But I saw him help to, I'm trying to think, was it pavement or was it grass? But he helped, like there was a runway that he did. It was grass, but it was for RC planes, and I thought it was so cool. Like the runway was grass, but it was a thing. But I've seen grass runways. Steven, I can't try to make up recipes until I retire for good, but I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Laura says dash 5-car garage east. Russ, you are behind, dude. Catch up on the live. I don't know anyone who does good barbecue that doesn't use MSG. I don't use MSG. MSG is highly Asian influenced. You lived in the South Pacific or in Asia for a while, B. So, yeah, there's that. I don't know. I think that's where your MSG influence comes in, unbeknownst to you. I want to do the same thing, but a warehouse or our commercial barn. He said he loved the idea. My husband used to build airplanes for a living. All the jobs moved out of state. He misses flying to work. Jeez, I can imagine. So Sarah, fun fact, I want to learn how to fly a helicopter. Yeah, I would love to get a helicopter pilot's license. I fell in love with helicopters and how they work after flying RC helicopters. Yeah. She lives in the country, in the middle of the country. That's why she lives on an airport or lives in a hangar, because she lives in the middle of the country. So Sarah, do you fly as well, or just your husband? Oh man, it is after 11 o'clock. I am still fresh at 11 o'clock. That was not the bestest. Precision 10.5 build. Yeah. My videos. So let's see. I'm going to open. Hey, yo, this is Dash. And hold on. Share. Copy. Go back. Go to the live stream. Oh, nope, not that. I don't have my laptop in front of me, so I can't. It's a little more complicated. All right, so those of you guys who are here, obviously you guys know that I send you guys, or I let you watch the video for tomorrow later. MSC has no flavor, it just enhances flavor. Most of the blends you buy have it, Sarah says. I won't say yes or no. Deshaun says it's only 8 p.m. Not where I am. Shoot. Sarah says I don't fly, but I'm learning. Just so I can land in a pinch for safety. Nice, nice. Be prepared. Nice. Sarah, I know you said Arkansas. I think I've told you I have family in Hot Springs. And I can say I've been to Stuttgart, Arkansas, because I had family that lived there. And Stuttgart, Germany. Stuttgart's sister city. So I've been to both places. So maybe you have been to Stuttgart. You need to go to Stuttgart. Hey, Jimmy says time to hit that thumbs up. If you have not already, please do. Brian says, any tips for how to layer your cook? Meaning if you are serving between a 6-hour window, how and when to put your meat on. So Brian, here's the long and the short of it. Okay, I want you to, I'm gonna give you 10-15 seconds to get a pen and some paper. All right, go ahead, get yourself a pen and paper. Laura says, I can fly until the ground gets closer. Sarah says, my father-in-law is an instructor. Nash hasn't done it. No, I haven't. I was stationed in Ballhammer. All right. I feel like most people were when they were in Germany. All right. So, Brian, here is the thing. You cook your food. I start my food usually almost always at the same time. Just because it's easier. I'm seasoning everything at one time. I'm putting everything on the smoker at one time. And then when things finish, I can finish them when they finish. It is far easier to reheat things than it is to try and time things perfectly. Whenever you need to or have to time something perfectly, Murphy's Law, the crap is going to hit the fan. Just don't do it. Do not set up cooks to be last minute. Do not set up cooks to be right on time. I'm telling you now, cook ahead of time. Cook ahead of schedule so you have that flexibility to take a nap. You have that flexibility for when something goes wrong, and all you have to do is reheat the food. That is it. That is the easiest thing I can tell you to do. Don't be that guy. I had an experience where I had a cook, and I was cooking for a friend of mine, and it was for his mother's birthday. It was a surprise birthday party for his mother. And he was supposed to meet me at 6 o'clock, right? And the cook ran over. The cook ran over by 2.5 hours, to the point where I had to deliver the food to his house. Okay, and the good thing was I was able to deliver the food to his house at 7:45. She was supposed to walk into the house at 8 o'clock for the event. Talk about the skin of my teeth. Never again. I think I just did, reading your comment again, Mike. Are you worried about getting the meat dried out when reheating? Nope. If you wrap it up tightly or properly, and then sometimes reintroduce some moisture, or don't take that moisture away, you will have no problem. A lot of places ain't open till what? I try to do backwards plan and throw in a 2-hour window, sometimes an hour and a half. Yep, Darnell. I definitely cook. I definitely do that reverse math all the time. I'm like, all right, I gotta. So it's like, okay, I gotta deliver the food at 3 o'clock, which means I need to leave my house at 2:30, 2:15, 2:30. All right, and I need to have everything, resting for an hour and a half, 2 hours, so I can let it rest and then cut it up. So all right, so let's say 2:15, so that's noon. So I gotta have everything done by noon. All right, well, if it's gonna be a 6-hour cook, all right, I need to start it at, let's say I need to start my fire at 4:30 in the morning. I need my alarm to be set for 4:30 so I can start the fire at 5, be cooking by 6. And if I need to speed it up, I can a little bit on the tail end. But most of the time, I'm like, all right, let me just err on the side of caution. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna get up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, start my fire, and I'll take my time. I don't have to rush. If I'm like, all right, well, I need the food to go on at like 5 in the morning, right? For it to be done at noon. All right, well, I'll go ahead and get up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. I'll fart around, get out the door at 3 o'clock, be in the garage, start the fire at 3 o'clock. All right, fart around some more, clean out the smoker, rinse it down, all of those things, come back in the house, get my food seasoned. The food seasoning might take 15-20 minutes depending on how much I have to season, and then by the time I get back out to the smoker, it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock. All right, cool. My food is in the smoker at 5 o'clock in the morning. Good to go. Do what I need to do. Food, might come off of the smoker at, between 8:30 and 10:30, depending on the size of whatever it is. Like, let's say it's a brisket or a pork shoulder. And then I'm like, all right, well, if it's just one pork shoulder or like one small amount of pork shoulder or one brisket, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it into the oven and get it finished in the oven. Yeah, why keep running back and forth to the house, to the garage? Get it finished, and it can finish. I mean, shoot. Briskets can finish. I can finish a brisket in 6 hours. Like a 12-pound brisket, 13-pound brisket, I can definitely get that done in 6 hours. A 15, 17-pound brisket might take 8. All right. And just get it done, and then slice it up, and then reheat it, put it in the Cambro, take it to wherever I need to, and it's still warm. Darnell says, save your juices. There you go. You are the man. Thank you for doing what you do. Well, thank you very much, Brian. I appreciate you, sir. Brian Harrington. Yes, indeed. And if you ain't here when it's here, it's gone. Yeah. But Dash, you deliver it. Yeah. Dash, have you ever preloaded one of your smoker? Preloaded? What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, like, preloaded as far as putting wood in the smoker? Yeah. Preloaded as far as, like, I actually did it not so long ago on Viki, because I was trying to show those of you who were here when I was talking about the guy who I sold the drum to, I was trying to explain to him how it worked, like how the charcoal basket worked, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I gotta cook tomorrow. I said, I'll just show you on this one. This one works the same exact way. It's just the charcoal baskets are different, but they work the same way. So I showed him there, and I loaded the smoker with charcoal, wood, and I didn't put any water in it, but I did load it up. So if that's what you're talking about. Thyron, how you doing this evening, sir? Russ said, hey, thanks for smashing that thumbs up. Yes, indeed. Oh my gosh, I have 50 of you guys who have given me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Mike says, like putting your charcoal and wood in before you have to fire it up in the morning. I already answered that question for you. I think yeah. Didn't smash it. Like Captain, it was more like tickle. Well, you know what, Laura? As long as you touched it, if it's a smash, if it's a a grab, or tickle, whatever tickles your fancy, or floats your boat. You guys are too funny. But yeah, I am. Jimmy, you still around? I know Jimmy has to get up for work early in the morning. Jimmy's probably asleep. I don't think he's coming in a while. This definitely was not or has not been of the higher proof variety. But guess what? I still feel a little bit. Russ says, I'm so out of sins. Dude, I saw sins went up today a little bit. You know what's crazy? I had green sky. Look up green sky. GSKY. I only had 6 shares, but still, I had green sky. Yo, it went up over 50% today. Yeah, buddy. My 6 shares, I was all in at like $36, $37. My 6 shares are like $75. Now, shoot. I am, I'm balling on a budget. Jimmy says, I'm still here. Yeah, all right. Yeah, don't talk about I'm still here. I know what you're doing. So, man, I know how I be sometimes. As long as you touch it. Yeah, Sarah, for real. Jay, what's going on, man? He says, cheers, Dash. Jay, you know what's so funny? I still have a little bit of that fry seasoning. Yo, we have been holding on to that fry seasoning. I feel like it's been over a year now. I'm gonna have to mail you on mine. Oh, email you. All right, well, Laura, sure. Yeah, good one. Yes. Brunel also started looking at Weber Traeger and barbecue shares as we get into winter. So I have barbecue shares. My barbecue shares are up over 50%. I have been watching shares of barbecue, BBQ, the stock ticker, BBQ. I've been watching it since it was down at about $4.50, and it just kept going up. It just kept going up, and I'm like, what the hell? And I finally bought in when it dipped from like 7 and some change down to 6 and some change, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy in now. And then it went up to like $15, $16. So yeah, I'm up 100% on my barbecue shares. Traeger and Weber are down right now, which is crazy. I'm just looking at them as longer term investments. Need a hit from a square bottle. I'm afraid, Jimmy. I don't know if I can take it. But you know, what else is all hit at the 52-week lows? Traeger, no, barbecue definitely isn't, unless I just bought it that long ago and I don't realize it, which would be great. You'll sleep like a baby. I know, which is all part of the problem. I got to get up tomorrow morning. I used to not have to get up on Thursday mornings, but my schedule changed at work, and now I got to get up on Thursday mornings. So I need to be ending this, but we're having such a good conversation. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Plus, you know, energy drinks, they do actually work when I drink them ahead of time. Jimmy says, wait, Dash, you are the man. Nah, man, not me. Yeah, man, I'm still holding on for Instacart IPO. Holding out for Instacart IPO. Well, Darnell, you're going to have to remind me on that one, because, see, and this is one of those things, right? IPOs are funny. They go one of two ways. They either you can get in low and then it like skyrockets and takes off and then boom, that's it. Or it does and goes the way of Weber and Traeger. Weber and Traeger both IPO'd within the last month or so. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to put some shares in Weber. I'm going to put some shares in Traeger. And, I mean, I put $50 to $100 in each of those companies, aforementioned companies. So it's not like, I mean, again, I am dollar cost averaging my way to, you know, this, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to get a share of this. I'm going to get 2 shares of that one because it was a little cheaper. And, tanked. CPNG. Now, Alibaba is the Amazon of, Alibaba is the Amazon of China. He said CPNG. Let's write that down. CPNG. Especially if you're down. Unfortunately, I will, I will stop it, Laura. Almost. Darnell, Neo, N-I-O. I'm gonna write that down for me to look at. O is an Oscar. Neo's a good one too. Apparently it's down. Firearm stocks are doing pretty well. We got a little bit here and there. Yep. B. Unfortunately, so I have shares of OLN. I have shares of Smith & Wesson. I have shares of Vista Outdoor. I have shares of Ruger. My Smith & Wesson shares are down, actually. They're down probably like 10 to 15%.
from highs. The high was like 35, and Smith & Wesson, last time I checked earlier today, I think it was at like 25-ish, maybe up or down on like a dollar or two. OLN is up. Vista is up. I mean, like, I'm up 50 to 100%, if not more, like maybe 200 to 300% on almost all of those gun stocks. Like, yeah, gun stocks. Yeah. Lars is getting sly on me, yeah. Tanking the soon doesn't mean all that much. This time next year, we'll see, yeah. What I'm in is crypto. All right, Laura. So I actually bought my first bit of crypto a couple weeks ago. I bought some Litecoin just because I was like, it was inexpensive enough for me to have a decent share of it. So I bought Litecoin, and dude, I wish I would have seen when it went from 180-ish to 280-ish. I probably would have sold it at that point, like, pew, let me take my profit and run. But it was fake news that actually drove the price up by $100, and it was nuts. What's the percentage rate on 40-40-20? Buy expensive, cheap in the middle. So does both Traeger and Weber share only 40%. What's the percentage rate? 40-40-20. Buy expensive, cheap, and in the middle. So does both Traeger and Weber share only 40%. Huh. Looking for slow dimes rather than a fast nickel. Shoot. I'm looking for slow lit nickels versus a fast dime. Because, you know, what's crazy is I am all about the percentages. Like, I will take a $3 gain with 100%, you know, versus a 0.5% gain with a, you know, $20 gain. It's like, it's crazy. I'm all about the percentages when it comes to this. Laura says she's doing not so bad so far. All right. Up to my wife has been picking the knockoff manufacturers, and they've been doing really well. All right. Like who? CBG is a weird downward solid trade. Catch pattern and flip between high 24 up to 32. I say saw a commercial. I'm going to look into CMPG. I just got to find some dry powder to put into it. I'm like, every extra little bit. I'm like, here's $100. Boom. Here's still. All right. Would you guys invest in Webull? I actually looked into and I threw some money at Webull, and I like it. I like Webull a lot. I told you guys that I've been trading primarily with Chase, and one of the problems with Chase is you cannot buy fractional shares. Webull, you can. I actually had a small investment with Fidelity. I threw $100 at Fidelity, and I'm like, all right, let me kind of test the waters and see how it worked. And it did work. It worked pretty well. I actually had a 30% gain on my investment from Fidelity in 6-8 months. So I'm cool with that. But I cashed out, took my money out, and I ended up putting that into the additional funds I had, with Webull. When and or if or would you, those of you who are in the market, are you in the market for a new brokerage? I don't mess with Forex, Laura. Foreign exchange currencies, I just don't know enough about it to get into it. I've seen folks talking about Forex for a really, really long time. And for those of you who don't know what Forex is it's foreign exchange. You basically are trading the exchange rates on foreign currencies. I do want to get into partial shares, and I'm looking for a good place to do so. Webull, all right. You put some money into Webull, you'll get a free stock. I get a free stock. I mean, I won't say a no-brainer, but like for real, Webull is a place. Anyone ever do any campfire cooking? It's WEBULL. But Captain Newbie, don't sign up for it yet. Russ, don't sign up for it. I have a referral code. If you go in and use my referral code, we both get some free stock. All right, so don't do it yet. If you want to go and look around, but do not open an account. All right, yeah, do not open an account. And I am not at my, well, of course, I'm on my phone, which is where my Webull account stuff is. So I can't get you the referral link, but I mean, it's one of those things. It's very simple and it's very robust. It's like I had to look up how to set up my Webull account to look at it in order to understand. There's so much information. Darnell said Forex is hard. You have to do that every day across multiple currencies. Math genius. Yep. B said Forex is good money if you have the time. I made good money with it, but you have to be watching all the time during the markets. Yeah. Laura says, what about indices? Indices are a good thing because indices removes a little bit of the risk. You get somebody else to do the work for you. Waiting on you. All right, no problem. Are you 9 at Gmail? Let me just make sure. Are you? Yep. Put your referral in your description. So Sarah, it's one of those things where I thought about it, but I feel like, you know, we talk about barbecue and you know, things like that. So, but yeah, Sarah, how about this? How about, can you give me an email address and I will send it to you? All right, Russ, appreciate that. Anybody else would like a referral code to Webull? And like I said, I have been on the fence on getting into Webull for 6-8 months. We've been talking about it, and I talked to one of my wife's cousins, and he was like, "Nah, bro." He was like, "I'm in it, like for real." Actually, I think he was still on Robinhood, and I was like, "Nope, I got out of Robinhood because they screwed me over." But if anybody else would like a referral link to Webull, again, you make a deposit. We both get a free. Well, when you open an account, you get a free stock. You get a free share. When you make a deposit, you get a free share. B says send it to him later. All right. I'll text it to you, Brian. Sarah says, "Hey man, always promote yourself." Yeah, all right, you're right. I don't know. Sometimes I won't say I hate begging, but I just, you know. Anyway. Let's just heads up, hey. But Sarah, it's one of those things where, you know, yeah. Spy. I've been looking at Spy. SQQQ. Inverse of the NASDAQ or the QQQ. Darnell is in it. Travis, to shoot him the code. All right, I will do. Using a financial center. I don't use the financial center. I don't think. I don't know. My wife got all kinds of those free share deals. We've been going up better than her picks. Yeah, shoot, dude. I'm telling you, what's crazy is, look, what's really crazy is when I logged into Webull and got, you know, Webull, COTY was one of the shares they gave me. I used to have a position in COTY, and COTY is like a makeup company or something like that, but they did something with Kylie Jenner 6-8 months ago, and after they did it, whatever they were doing with Kylie Jenner, I was like, all right, I'm gonna pick up some shares. Man, my shares tanked, and I was like, all right. I waited for a month, maybe 2 months, and it dropped to like 30% or 40% down, and I was like, all right, hell with this, and jump ship. Man, when they gave me a free share of Cody COTY at Weeble. I'm like, why does that sound familiar? And I look back at my portfolio history, and I'm like, God damn it! I had Cody and bought it at like $2.50. It dropped to $1 or some change or something. Like, dropped, and now it's at $9 to $10, and it's outperforming some of the picks that I had. Like Apple. Apple was like flat, and freaking Cody COTY again is up. And I'm like, damn it! Had I waited, had I been patient. But the problem is I don't have a whole bunch of extra money to put into the market. So any extra money I get, I'm like, all right, here's a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, and I'm trying to, like, I've been seriously contemplating taking my main brokerage from Chase and moving it to Webull, because I do like the platform a lot. Webull also offers pre-market trading and after-hours trading. I do the stock stuff for real, at least best I can. Definitely more than anybody I know or have come across. Well, Darnell, man, this is why you and I are friends. Kohl's and Sephora have a new collab. Really? Yeah, but every now and again I get a banger. Like I said, Green Sky was my banger. We have it's not even a second mortgage, but it's a loan on our house. They did that's who we have our loan for our siding through. And I was like, well, you support the companies that, you buy shares of companies that, yeah. So I was like, all right, well, I could afford, I was like, let me throw $50 at it. And sure enough, and it wasn't even $50. Shoot, now that I think about it, because it was $36, $37 I threw at it, and it's up to $80 now. And I'm like, yeah. I don't even know what it was. I went and I logged on this morning just to kind of check, and it was like, boom, you're up 100 and some change dollars. I'm like, well, damn, what happened? And I go and look, and I see Green Sky was up $25 or $30 almost. And I'm like, hell yeah. It went up 50%, 50+%. Apple was side trading at 119 for a month, up to 150. Wait for the next stock split. So Darnell, I bought Apple right after the stock split. And when I say I was sick because I had been looking for stocks because of the fact that I was using Chase and I had to buy whole shares. I was like, all right, I was sending $50 every 2 weeks. Every time I got paid, I was sending $50 out there, and I'm like, all right, whatever's popping that particular Friday, I'll buy $50 worth of it. Well, Apple was like, they just split, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta get in this. I gotta get on this. Like, yeah. So I sold some stuff and leveraged some stuff and bought a single share of Apple. I have a single share of Apple right now, or I might have two now, but I had a single share, and I bought it at like 127, 128, and it dropped to 119, and I was mad. But now it's recovered a little bit, and then back out to 150, but it's hovering right now. So yeah, put your money into Roth IRA, max it $6,000 a year. So funny you talk about that, Sarah. My wife and I were talking about retirement a week or so ago, and it's one of those things where I wish I could put extra money into a Roth IRA. I do better putting my money into the stock market than I do into a IRA. Fun fact, I used to sell, I actually had my license to sell life insurance and fixed annuities years ago. In a past life, I used to work for a bank, and I used to sell life insurance and fixed annuities. I passed the Pennsylvania exam for life and fixed health, fixed life and annuities. Anyway, so I knew a little bit about annuities and such, and IRAs and retirement products. But I found out quick, fast, and in a hurry that if I was going to put money into a Roth IRA, I would probably do better by taking that post-tax money and putting it into the stock market. I'm gonna make more money in the stock market than I would in a Roth IRA. So that's just my 2 cents. I am not. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. What all I'm saying. Smoke Range and Grill Mark says, I'm here, y'all. Well, welcome. Laura says she needs a snack. B says IRAs are Ponzi schemes. She said my parents lost their retirement in Roth during the market collapse. See, that's the thing, B. These are investment vehicles, and investment vehicles bear no sort of guarantee. They would have done. They probably wouldn't have done better in the stock market, but because the IRAs are, the IRAs are basically betting on the market, but they're indexing. So as opposed to buying one share or having a specific share, they take a collective group of shares. Yeah. Can I come on and explain that real quick? Go ahead, Darnell. Anyone make and sell jerky? Looking to buy craft jerky for Christmas stockings? I don't know, Laura. Just added KSS to my watch list. KSS. Roth doing excellent. So has your Roth been doing excellent in the past year and a half, 2 years? Or has it been doing excellent from when you put money into it to start? Yes, Sarah. Diversity is definitely key, and I agree. In other life, I was certified to sell mutual funds. Yep, I thought, or actually, I wanted to get my 7 and 77. After I have been looking into, so funny now that we talk about this. I hadn't even thought about this in years. But after I got my life and fixed health, I guess it was, or fixed health and annuity license, I had dreams and aspirations of getting my Series 7 and 77. So I think 7 is for like being able to sell stocks, and 77 is for mutual funds. I thought so. I think so. Smoke Green says, I need my weekly dose of Dash. Well, glad I can provide. I want to do jerky and salami. I'm trying to set up a temp-controlled area. Nice. I work for the government, and not only do I have a regular retirement, but my job offers a secondary one. Nice. Yeah, so I work for a company that offered a pension, all right? And, it's one of those things where if I could, at 40 years old, go back and tell my 20-year-old self something, I would tell my 20-year-old self 2 things. First thing, put money into a 401k. I did not start my 401k until like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, okay? And the reason I did not is because my company offered a pension. So I'm like, I wish someone would have told me, hey, put money into a 401k as well as have that pension. Don't just rely on that pension, because now I don't work for my previous company anymore, so my pension is no longer growing. Yeah. Also, the second thing I would have told myself is I would have told myself to invest in the stock market way sooner. There have been some stocks that I have, lucked up on, like the Green Sky stock that I was just like a hunch. I'm like, hey, let's look into some companies that I do business with and see what they're about. All right, I looked into Green Sky and I was like, all right, it was not too bad. It's like $6 a share or so. Let me go ahead and buy a couple shares. I think I bought 5 shares and it was under $6 ish. Anyway, fast forward to today, it went up 50% because someone bought them. I don't even remember who it was. Someone bought them. It's like talking to the taste testers. Man, yeah. I've been busy as hell lately, so I haven't been able to get on a live stream, but I had to hop on and say go Raiders. Borracho Barbecue. Eric, right? How you doing, man? I had a Series 6 in ASD. All right. Oh, Series 63. I've forgotten what all of those numbers were and or are. But look, if you guys would like me to send you a Webull referral, please let me know, and I will go ahead and get that to you. I am enjoying using Webull, and it's one of those things where if I refer you and you get and open an account, we both get something. Kind of no brainer to me. When I went in, I used my wife's cousin's referral, and I wanted to make sure he got something because he and I were talking about some stocks, some shares, and dude, one of the other things too, I can thank Alton. It was one of these times we were talking. He told me about Moderna. And I tell you, the first time he told me about Moderna, I looked at it and I'm like, man, it's at like 30, 35. Like, that's high, like, compared to what I can afford, because I was just getting into it at the time. And I'm like, $30, $35 for one share. Like, I can't afford that. Like, because I was looking for shares that were less than $20 where I could buy a couple and put $50 to $100 into them. But this was like, I didn't have any extra money. I think I leveraged some things to buy a share of Moderna at 69 and some change. And I'm riding that single share of Moderna. We at like $450 right now, hovering. It was at $485, but like, yo, I talked to Alton about it, and I'm like, hey man, you still have your shares of Moderna? He's like, nah man, I got out. What? He's like, I am kicking myself. Man, shoot. I'm like, you put me on the Moderna. But see, the thing is, he bought Moderna when it was at like 20 or whatever, and then rode it till it got to about 60, 70. I didn't buy Moderna until 70, and I'm riding it, I'm riding it till the wheels fall off. Because I got Moderna, and man. Yeah, Roger says just good, working like crazy, spending time with the baby. Yes, indeed. Jerry says, hey, Dash, my bro. Yes, indeed. Russ says, you ought not smash your head on that rock head. Thanks, Dad. But if you don't smash your head, how will I learn? Yeah, man. V said, I work for a life insurance company out of the Marine Corps. It was the only job I could get if I didn't want to make minimum wage. Yeah, buddy. Green is under $6 at the end of July. Literally jumped to $11.95. Oh, I know. Darnell, like I said, I had a 50, 51 or 52% gain today. And I'm like, do I hold it or do I sell it? Because I know it's going to drop. Actually, it started dropping after hours. It was down like 11% from its high. And I'm like, do I take my 40% profit and run, or do I stay in it? I'm like, I don't know. I got it in the high, so my whole portfolio is red. It's to sell half. I thought about that too, Russ. But one of the reasons why I think I want to hold on to it is because whoever bought out Green Sky, they are going to be paying a cash dividend and or there's some sort of incentive payout for holding on to the shares. So I might hold on to my 6 shares and get a couple dollars. Because if I sell it, then I won't get everything. So I am actually starting to appreciate stocks where I get a dividend on. So I'm less likely to sell any stocks that I have and receive a dividend on, and am earning more shares of the company. Smoke Rings Grow Mark says they work for the government, and not only do they offer a regular retirement, but they also offer secondary retirement that I pay into. Yep. Same here. Yes, dividends are okay, Russ says. Yep, the pharmaceuticals still have a few more months, but then get out, they are going to crash. I don't know about that, B. We're going to need drugs forever. Alright? So my wife is a chemist by trade, and she used to work for a pharmaceutical company. She now works for a bigger organization, but she still works in pharmaceuticals. But one of her friends works for AstraZeneca. One of my wife's friends works for AstraZeneca. And I looked into AZ shares, and I'm gonna write this one down. AZ, look back at AZ again. But Emergent, Emergent, Emergent is one that I did pick up a couple shares in Emergent. I have some shares in Pfizer, of course, Moderna. I was talking about that one. Trying to think what else. There's a couple. Yeah. Hold it. I'll just look. Moving average, if anything, sell a quarter, buy at the dip. The new owners probably offering 3-to-1 stock split. For Green Sky, see the problem is I don't know whether or not they're going to give you 3-to-1 on ownership as of the back date or whatever the future date is. So I don't want to lose out. I don't know. It's so. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if they're going to, because sometimes you'll say, like, I actually bought shares of Harley Davidson, and oh man, I remember a year and some change ago, and I was looking at Harley Davidson. I was looking at Dave and Buster's, and I looked and I was like, oh my god, these shares are really low, but I didn't have enough money to spread around, right? So I didn't buy. So Dave and Buster's I still haven't bought. But Harley Davidson, I was like, oh, I read some news that was like, oh, Harley was down, and Harley was giving, was going to pay a dividend to owners as of this date. So I was like, all right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy the day before that date. I bought a couple shares, and sure enough, I got my dividend, but shares of Harley Davidson are dropping, and I'm like, I'm just gonna hold it. Nothing else I can do. Okay, just saying, remember this conversation. The Fed just downgraded the GDP by over 40%. Downgraded the GDP? I don't know about 40%. Currently paid more. All right, Darnell, I'll take a look at it in the morning. Definitely. Yeah, TX insert losing game show sound here. Oh, whomever. Oh, Atari. Yeah, I did not. I think AITX was Atari. I just watched that. Downgraded the estimates. But I'll have to look into it. I'll it's one of those things. Definitely need to check with Tony though. I got a notepad full of notes here from our conversation here. Yo, it is almost midnight. Jeez. Yeah. Jimmy, you still here? If you are, I'll take a shot. If Jimmy's not here, I'm not taking a shot. Unless y'all. Atari is Pong. Okay. Alright. I've been watching Pong. It was Pong was down too. Stinking good barbecue. What's going on, man? Search Atlanta Fed downgrade GDP. Oh, damn it, Jimmy. That exclamation point. He's like, I'm here. Go take a shot. Hold on. I'll be back. Jimmy's like, I've never been so happy to still be on the live stream. Alright, so hopefully you guys can hear me. I have a couple jars. Alright, here's one of them. But this jar was not in the freezer. So I am going to pour some ice into this small cup. Jimmy says I help a brother out when I can. Sure enough. Let's see. Russ says, okay, good night. Oh, well, be well. Now I gotta wait for the shot. Oh shoot! Let me hurry up then. I'm put some ice in the little cup because this is hot. It was sitting on the counter, or excuse me, on the shelf. Ooh, buddy, that was a tough jar to crack. Oh, this is substantially higher than what I drank earlier. And crap, I feel like I put too much in there. But it's the end of the night. I can't make that big of a fool of myself. I'm no expert. That's up there. The quicker the bubbles dissipate, the higher the proof. Shoot, I think that's right, Is that right? Alright. Put this top on here and ooh, I'm about to make a face. I know it. Yeah. I told you probably 3 months ago. Cherry. Goodness gracious. That was one. I think I got 2 in there. Oh, I taste the corn. Good night. That's what I wanted to say. If anybody needs an explanation about any of the stock stuff, feel free to hit me up. I'm not hard to find. Yes, indeed. Captain Newbie says 180-ish. I don't know about 180. This is not 180. I've had some 180. This might be in the 120s, 130s. Like, yeah. They cut growth, sorry. Didn't want to give me some information. I will take a shot with you guys. Well, Jerry, thank you. So I did shot 1. There's still more in here. I poured a little bit too much. I probably should have only poured once. But yeah. Look at that. Jimmy says 131. I said it was in the 130s. I'll drink to that. Woo! Goodness gracious. Do not light a match. Hold on. Look. I could probably set my breath on fire. Yeah, buddy. Good night. Alright. So, there are a few of you guys who are here, and those of you guys who are here on the live stream on Wednesday nights know that after the second hour, well, you do tequila. You got that tequila. I don't mess with tequila. Not very much. If you are here on a live stream after towards the end of the second hour, and we are going on hour 3, no Puff the Magic Dragon. No, none of that. We're going on hour 3. I like to give you the video. The Y word is going to happen off camera. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta get up tomorrow morning at 5:15, 5:30-ish. I want to say tomorrow's gonna be a long day, but yeah. Face down on the keypad. You guys are funny. All right. I wish I had some. I need some juice. Like, oh man, there's still more of it in here. Golly, I poured too much. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sleep good. Yeah, so sorry for any misspellings. I was getting my hair cut. Gabriel, no, it is not early. Oh, that's early. Yeah, I know. Well, I need to be logged on for work at 6 a.m. And tomorrow I have to get my taste tester number 2 up early because he's got to get the trash out. But he also wants to go to school early for basketball conditioning. So he asked me to get him up early tomorrow. Anyway, all right, guys, let's see if we can make it to the 3-hour mark. Goodness gracious. That was 3 sips, 3 shots I poured in here. Good night. I'm going to actually take this jar and put it into the freezer because I had it sitting on the shelf. I would love to say, hey, I should pour some into this gallon jug here, but I don't want to. I think I'm gonna just sip on the gallon jug during the, I don't say during the night, during the week. Yeah. Dude, Darnell, let me just tell you, I've tried. You know, same thing. Remember how I was telling you about telling somebody or suggesting something to someone? I've suggested to him numerous times, take the trash out before it gets dark. Because, you know, he doesn't want to be outside after it gets dark and doing the trash and animals and stuff like that. I'm like, whatever. Do it before you go to bed. No, I'd rather do it in the morning. All right. But you know what? Do you, bruh? Because guess what? You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to wake you up early. It's okay. I don't mind. You just get me up. You know, it's one of those. I'm like, Like, I'm tired of telling you the same thing over and over and over. So, I just let it be. Barbecue Naked Night. Yeah, Jerry. Sure enough. Be well, all. Till next time, I'm going to just sit here till he hits the button. Yeah, well, thanks, Russ. I appreciate you. That's niche late night barbecue talk. Definitely agree, Jimmy. What animals you have at night there that are that bad? Any animal at night that you can't really discern is bad. So I live in Baltimore City. There is a rat population. We have raccoons. We have foxes. Foxes. They're deer that are outside. Of course, the deer are kind of harmless except to my vegetables. But later at night, you know, something goes bump in the night to a 14-year-old. It's scary. Ooh. So he doesn't want to be out there after dark. I mean, I get it. And I also get that, you know, when I was 13, 14, I didn't want to listen to what my parents were saying. I'm tired of saying it. So guess what? I wake his butt up extra early. I'm already up. Doesn't bother me not one bit. He gonna learn. He values his sleep too, Darnell. It's just he's too damn lazy to go back outside and do it when it needs to be done. Steven says, later, taters. Have a great week and upcoming weekend. Stay safe and be good, people. Yes, indeed. I'm here till he hits the button. Yeah. Thanks, Steven. I appreciate you. Tell him to bang the garbage can. Dude, it doesn't work. I swear he's afraid of the dark, but he won't say that. I swear it is. I swear that's what it is. Like, if I told him, all right, go take the trash out, it's 8 o'clock. It's dark outside. Yeah, go ahead, man. Not gonna bite you. Nobody gonna take you. They gonna get you back if they take you. But no, there are some animals outside for real. Like I said, I'm gonna say the biggest, but definitely raccoons, foxes, rats. What else is there? What else is there? The deer, like I said, they don't count. That's about it as far as the animals in the area. I have coyotes come up from the river, valley, and the sea. I see them run by the building 3 at a time. Jeez. Holy crap. 14 years old, I can't believe never worried about much animals unless rabid, I guess. My youngest is 14 and lazy. We're not even going to talk about it. Stinky Gus's brother Dash, I was offered to cook 100 chicken halves, only chicken. Not really sure what to charge. Any suggestions? I don't have, man, because I was offered to cook 150 chickens. So you had 75 birds, and then they split them in half. I always base my fees, my rates on what the food costs me, because that is the biggest, easiest barometer to kind of make sure that you're not getting screwed, to be completely honest. So when people provide food to you, you end up screwing them because you actually are going to get paid more for your time. So if you're getting 100 or you having to cook 150 chicken halves, one, you got to figure out where the hell you putting 150 chicken halves, because that's a lot of damn chicken. And how you were going to cook that 150 chicken halves. There's too many questions, and like people ask me, oh, how would you do this or how would you do that? And I don't know. I base my pricing off of the food costs, so I can't tell you. I can't give you a an estimate. And I'm like, look, it's hard. Like, it really is hard. You kind of have to figure it out and do the math yourself. One more stock tip: watch the SQQQ. This is a good thing. When you see it down, hope all over when it hits $7. I do have SQQQ. I will look into it. Oh shucks! Thanks. It's a ton of chicken. That is Swiss Chalet. Swiss Chalet. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and post the link to tomorrow's video one more again. All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and end it. So I want to say thank you to you guys. Hey, those of you guys who are still here, if you have not already hit that thumbs up button, those of you late bloomers, late comers, if you have not hit that thumbs up, yeah, it does make a difference. Definitely. And I mean, hold on. All right, Jimmy. Woo. That's the last of it. Oh, good night. Literally, good night. How much selling pulled pork Sammy? A quarter to a third pound. Man, good night. Take care. BFN, bye for now. Dash and all, enjoy the night. Shoot, difficult, you know. Not sober dash, trying to read and decipher abbreviations. Yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, guys, thank you so very much for hanging out. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And if you are watching this on the replay, I appreciate you that much more. B says later, brother. Later, everyone, and take care. Grumba says good night, Dash, and everybody. Jimmy says night, guys. Have a great week and a great weekend. Captain Newbie said, damn. Yeah, buddy. Catch y'all on the next one, KB says. Yes, indeed. Laura, sometimes, man, you just be abbreviations. What? I'm fluent in internet, and I'll be like, what the hell is Laura trying to say? Circle back with that question next week. All right. I'm gonna do some. I have some notes here. Hey, if anybody, like I said, if anybody wants the Webull link to open up a portfolio with Webull, like I said, I like it so far. I've been on or with Webull for like 2 or 3 weeks. Hit me up, email address in the chat quickly while I can still see it, or comment on a video. So yeah, all right. He won't hit it. Oh shoot! You say goodbye. No, you say goodbye. Mark, good night. Laura, yeah, it's okay. I'm only messing with you, Laura. It just takes some thought. I've had a little bit to drink, so yeah. Night, everyone. Sarah says, take good care. Can't wait to see what everyone's up to next week. Yep. Grumpus says, what do I like about it? Oh, damn it, Grumpus. So Grumpus, I like partial shares. Okay, that's one thing. The only bad thing is you can't. So Webull also has a desktop version, which is dope because you can look at it and put it on big screens and stuff like that. But you cannot purchase partial shares from your desktop. You can only purchase partial shares from your phone, your mobile device. I like the analysis that Webull provides. You can, when I say break down a stock from the nth degree, you can. There's a lot of information on Webull. Of course, there's pre-hours and after hours trading. So yeah, let's play do 2 lines. I don't know what that is. How do you feel about smoked asparagus fruit? I never had asparagus root. Asparagus, yeah, but not smoked asparagus root. Thanks, Mark, for the thumbs up. If you haven't already hit that thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it on the way out. Sir says good night. You guys are just messing with me. Can you say seashells by the seashore dash fast? Yes, she sells seashore. Fuck, I can't. Nope. 2 lines. Russ laughing. It's not funny. This is not funny. Newbie night. Steven says, you guys are great. Newbie night for the stocks? What are the banking options with Weibo? What do you mean? I set up my bank, my credit union. Hey, right back at you, Laura. Opens arms. Bring it in. Air hug, internet stranger. I don't know about banking options, but if you have, I know I set up my credit union and I fund my account, my brokerage from my credit union. Good night, Stephen and Jacqueline. Russ says, dang it, looks like Walton's outro. Good night, Stephen. Good night, John Boy. Haven't heard anyone talk about transaction charges. No transaction charges. So there are no fees, Grumpus. A lot of these brokerages, what happens is they take a penny off the top on the ask and the bid. That's how they make their money. So if the ask is like $1.19, you pay $1.20. So the fee there is no fee. You're just paying a penny more per share, and that penny adds up. That's really all it is. And all of them do the same thing. So, yep. Even with my Chase, same thing. I purchase shares, and then the bid is one price, and the ask is another, and then what you actually get in for is something else. Same thing when you do limit orders. Your limit order could be for $5.27, and when the ask gets to $5.26, it'll get processed for $5.27. Usually, it's a penny per share. Have you ever smoked dinosaur? Well, so from what I understand, birds are descendants of dinosaurs. So yeah, will they work with a PayPal account? I'm not 100% sure. B, my friend Barney was asking. Yeah, I'll send you a picture of mine tomorrow. All right, thanks, Laura. Good night, Michael. Good night, JJ. Good night, John Boy. Sure enough. No, but I dated a dinosaur once. TMI, Sarah. TMI. All right, guys, I'm gone. This has been really fun, entertaining. We can definitely my trading page thingy. Okay, thank you very much, Laura. Appreciate that. Well said. I'll live. Tiny blood clot. All right. Well, they said I'll live. Well, Eric, gosh, darn it. So sorry to hear that. Hey, Eric, dude, seriously, thank you so very much for hanging out and being here. Did you show any nurses? Myself, I could have showed off my tattoo or something for you. Well, not my only, but I could have showed off my chest tattoo. Hot nurses. I mean, hot doctors. Yeah. Do you have a PayPal debit card? Yes, I do, Sarah. Because of the fact that I use my PayPal. Oh, damn it, Eric, why not? Look, B said nurses love beards. What's funny? There is a nurse at my doctor's office. I had a doctor who left the practice, and she was my nurse for that doctor. And it's so funny, when I first started shaving my head, she said, ooh. She said, I have a friend. I'm like, okay, go on about your friend. She said, I have a friend that loves bald men who have beards. I'm like, okay. I'm happily married, but I mean, shoot. Just because there's, I used to work with this guy, his name was Jim Clark. Jim said, he said, just because there's snow on the roof doesn't mean it's not still a fire in the furnace. I'll never forget Jim. But yeah. Anyway, I know. Jimmy's funny. He said 5:30. I know. Look. There's no encore. I'm done. Just 3 hours. Shoot. Oh man. Anyway, those of you who are still here, I just want to tell you I appreciate you. Yul Brenner have a beard. Did Yul Brenner have a beard? I'm not sure. Didn't hear much about cleaning. Yes, we talked about how to stay clean. So I talked about wearing gloves is how I stay clean. And Sarah, stop it. Stop it with your reality talk, okay? Jimmy, don't laugh at that. That is not funny. And Laura, you too. That's not funny. Sarah, I see you're gonna be that person, that gal, okay, trying to bring us back into reality. No. Okay, squirrel. Anyway, on that bombshell, I guess, Laura says, loves you, Dash. Good luck getting up in the morning. Oh, I'll be fine. Darnell says, gloves on the apron. I'll be fine. I have no problem getting up. The emoji in there and everything. Yep. What's your sanitizing solution? My sanitizing solution is to hit this X in the corner of my phone so I can stop y'all from talking. It's like, you know how you put a child to bed and they keep talking to you and asking you questions to stay up? This is what's happening right now. This is what's happening. Look, see? Laura's like, Sarah, we need to team up on this. No, you don't. Anyway, thank you guys so very much again. All right? Again. All right? Hey, Steven, tell Jacqueline I said hey and pat Buddy for me. All right? Children, go to bed, Eric says. Go to bed. Good night, John boy. Good night, whoever else is next. Good night, other Walton children. Good night. Good night. Good night. And I'm gone.